And we're live.
I don't feel live.
Rah!
Welcome to Season 2, Session 4 of our Sea Dogs GURPS campaign. I am Gigerman, today's GM.
Hi, Gigerman.
This session's audio will be made available as a podcast. See the description for details.
Or
Yada,
don't.
yada.
It's up to you.
Nosh, do you have any character business for Lieutenant Rogers?
I do not.
Com Junkie, do you have any character business for Sir Randall?
Just monkey business.
As usual.
So you're putting
Ronky.
a point in animal handling monkey?
Yo. No.
Ronky, do you have any character business for Captain John?
Not at this point.
Captain John. Nobody calls him Captain John.
Yeah.
Captain Hayden. Get
Mel,
right,
do you have
ma'am.
any character business for Claude?
Since Claude did a default navigation roll, I think last time, is it okay to put a point into it or no?
Yeah, you've had about a month of it, so
Okay,
I don't see why not.
nah, that's it. That's all I was going to ask.
Well, there is that nagging thing about not being able to read, but you don't have to be able to read. Should fix that.
Nah.
Rigel Kent, do you have any character business for Dr. Spencer?
Yeah. Since I apparently needed it based off of that drawing stuff, I went ahead and put a point in artist calligraphy. I'm also contemplating picking up that perk that I had mentioned, but I didn't know how useful it would be for the GM as well.
Oh, that exposition thing.
Yep.
Don't honestly know.
Right. So I'll hold off on that one.
So GM business. In the minor stuff category, I happened to notice
Ooh,
the other
cool.
day. Had you
I
not
don't
seen
think I've
this?
seen this. I don't think I've seen
I'm
this
pretty
one.
sure you had.
Well, I don't remember it, so I've never seen it.
Well, I, for some reason, was looking at it the other day and noticed that there are, in fact, as pointed there, partitions. These I have not seen on the real replica ships, so I'm assuming these are things that can be erected as needed, in which case one could divide these sections up into separate cabins. So this one has the 2 berths, and I believe Claude and Dora were in these 2. And yeah, I guess that one has the 2 over there. I think we had the captain on this side and Rogers on the other side, but those could
That's the
easily be
captain.
flipped.
That's like clearly where Sir Randall's
Yeah.
at.
Oh, right. He was up on that end too. Right, Rogers is forward because he decided he wanted to be for some reason. I guess this one is actually labeled for the officers, though. But that's up to the officers to bother about. Anyway, I thought I would bring up the fact these were here because there's a high probability that you actually have those partitions on the ship, whether or not you actually have them erected to divide the gallery up. In
He
the
said
event that you
erected.
take on passengers and you want to have separate cabins. So now you know that they're there.
Well, there's a manger.
The what? I missed that.
There's a manger.
Where was that?
I'm pointing at it.
Well, I'd already closed it. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. I did not even consider the fact that there might be room under the forecastle, such as it is. Indeed. Well, apparently that's where you're supposed to put your animals.
That's where we put the monkey.
Well, there's no reason the monkey or the cat could hang out there. Right. Next bit. Unfortunately, there aren't very many of them. I forgot that Divino can actually speak Spanish, so we do have a 3rd translator. He speaks it accented, I believe. And as for the split going ashore, it looks like Divino might be more available to Claude should Claude need translation services. FYI. Next bit. So I asked the question offline about SOPs for shore business, and a couple of you haven't made your thoughts known in that regard. So I'm going to ask you now. And the question that I was initially trying to ask, and this is the more important one, is what you do for leisure. And given that the two characters / players revolve around Rogers and Payne, I had already been. Rogers used to do his thing where he would stand out at the docks and watch things. So
That
I
doesn't seem very
assumed that would
leisurely
be
to me.
his thing, but this would be your chance to say otherwise.
Well, I can happily do those things, but I think if he's lecherous, he really doesn't want to just sit on the docks and hang out in the boat all the time.
Well, apparently he's finally starting to loosen up. No, he wasn't staying on the boat in that case, but whatever. And with Payne, he had been talking about trying to hit the salons. So I'm assuming that is his leisure thing, even
He's
though
got to
he's
get his hand
technically kind
manicure.
of working with that.
Got to get a manicure.
Also, I had asked for the SOP purposes that where you guys stay overnight. I believe Payne had mostly been staying in the slightly more expensive hotels and that sort of thing. As it happens, I haven't been paying a great deal of attention to how much you guys are spending in that regard, nor how much money you actually have on your persons. In Roger's case, I'm not sure. He doesn't have status, so he can get away with something a bit less. And just so you understand, the reason why I ask is because when I have to figure out where you are, that's how I know. And it's much easier if I don't have to ask everybody. And why is Com Junkie typing everything?
He's sleepy.
His mic is not broken, is it? Doesn't want to interrupt. That's
Just a
unusual.
question.
Who
while,
are you and what have you done with Mark?
Just a question while you're not talking about other stuff. On the map of the ship, the
Mhm.
yellow section, or my yellow arrow, is that all open to the air?
Yes, it is.
So that there is the actual deck floor.
Yes, it is.
Cool.
All right. So the reason for asking about the SOPs about leisure time was specifically with regard to recovering sanity points or long-term sanity points. As just as a bit of catch up there, Rogers, Payne, and Hayden all ended up making their will checks and not taking any. So they don't actually have anything to recover at this point. So if they happen to work the whole time, it's not going to hurt anybody's feelings. I was going to give Hayden a little bit of, I'd probably give him like a 1 point credit on that or something because he's workaholic. He's going to feel better if he's working.
Given
But I don't think
his
the other ones have anything like that.
given his condition, he should probably be at penalties for, long-term stability.
I don't think so. Now you can buy up or down the your resistance to loss of the sanity points and or your capacity. If anyone wants to adjust that sort of thing, I will go fetch that information for you at some point. But it's just like buying up will or hit points or fatigue points, stuff like that. Same basic concept.
Then maybe if he fails a chronic pain roll, then he gets an extra fatigue or long-term fatigue.
Possibly, but as Com Junkie was asking the question, this only applies while you guys are sailing, and the point of that is it is a lesser version of quote-unquote social isolation. That is, you are stuck on a boat with these 12
But
people.
I don't know too many people that would lose sanity for 3 or 4 days with the same 12 people.
Depends on the people. And depends
But-
on the days. Now, having said that,
So how easy is it to lose sanity in such situations? Because it seems rather.
Well,
Let's
you
just start losing sanity so quick that we can't recover it for
you
just
get the
bad
will
rolls.
check to resist, and you guys are probably going to resist most of the time.
But that's like
So
saying
you
I
guys
get
aren't gonna
go
feel it.
insane. That's like saying I'm going to go insane by going to work 5 days a week,
Well, that's true.
Well, it kind of happens.
but not.
Now, what I was about to say was this may get adjusted a little bit. So I'm not settled on exactly how fast it collects. I just don't want it to never collect. Really, the time that I expect something like that to really happen is like if you're becalmed for a week or two or something like that, and you're really sucking it. Because those
It-
situations definitely do drive people crazy.
Which I could maybe see, and why don't we not wait for those situations to make the rules?
Because you never know when that's going to happen.
But that's what I mean is make the becalmed insanity rolls when we're becalmed, not actually in transit and doing stuff. I don't know that the human psyche is that fragile.
You'd be surprised. There's lots of historical evidence of
Well-
people just going nuts on
Well,
on
I get
sailors
that,
and
but
such like that.
2 days on a boat to hit land, 2 days on a boat to hit land, 3 days.
Well, nobody's gone crazy here either, with the exception of Spencer, who was already
How long
crazy.
have we been on the boat at any one time?
So far, I think your longest has been 7 days, 6 days, 7 days, something like that.
And the Navy goes in subs underwater for how long before?
Yeah, but they take care to let people. That's your point is understood and not invalid, and will be taken into account. I just haven't decided exactly how yet. And if things start getting a little weird, we'll adjust. I'm not going to screw you over with this. And that is basically all of that. So, yeah, sorry, I feel like I'm missing something again. Harbor log, Friday, February 16th, 1725, Havana, Cuba. Cool and rainy with a light westerly breeze. Having arrived in Havana in mid-morning, the expedition has split up to their shore business as usual. And we are backtracking just a little bit because we never quite completed some of the stuff that we were working on last time.
It's Mark's fault. Totally throwing Mark under the bus.
One thing I want to bring up real quick, you guys, I had mentioned before about getting money changed over to Spanish money.
Oh yeah.
I
need
don't
to
think
do
anybody ever said I'm going to change over this much. And so think about that for a minute while we do some of this other stuff. Next item, trade. So what I had wanted to do offline was establish the SOP with regard to trade, or at least reinforce the SOP that we already had, which was, or has been, as far as I can tell, that pretty much everywhere you go, you're always looking for freight and passengers and speculative cargo, all three things. And the procedure, as far as I can recall without having gone back over the old recordings, is that Spencer has been doing most of the legwork on that stuff and has been pulling in Sir Randall to do the schmoozing.
Because Sorrento likes to go carousing.
Yes, this is true.
So, is this, in fact, going to be the standard operating procedure?
Sounds good to me.
Works for me.
All right. So, second question in that regard is who makes the decision about what cargo is purchased and or taken?
Crap, that's probably going to be me, which means I'm going to get a bunch of grapefruits or something weird.
Well, as long as nobody else cares.
Yep.
I had assumed Sarandel had been the one most focused on the profitability of the voyage.
Well, I mean, I don't know what my merchant is. I know I have it.
Well, he does have
I do have.
he does have traits in that regard.
Yeah, I think I was taking the lead on the merchanting thing. I have a 13. But he also has the or Spencer also has the administration skill and actually somehow he has the finance skill and that sort of thing.
Mhm.
So
Well, yeah, he studied that stuff. Yeah, just as a side note, it looks like Payne has the if there's money to be had quirk, which could actually be a quirk level greed, and the one in every port could actually be a quirk level lecherousness.
Yes, that's kind of where I built them from.
Kind of figured. So
right. So that means we're going to end up seeing both Sir Randall
Quirk
and
level.
Lieutenant Rogers in the brothel.
quite
No,
possibly.
I just meet them, and I don't have to. It's just whoever I meet. Yes, I actively.
All right, so having established the standard operating procedure, then it will fall to Mr. Spencer to do the actual merchant roll to find freight, passengers, and or cargo, and the selling of the cargo that you currently have.
Right.
And right now I have you at actually
Should
that's not
make
fully
a
correct.
story and or a note for the
Did I not?
penalties bonuses. Well, you might have one. I just don't see it. Which case, unless it's already there and I'm just an idiot, which is also
Well,
possible.
I'm not actually sure I do have one for that. Okay, you know what? We are going to make a note.
Make a
Wait,
note.
well, there's a merchant stuff. Somebody made one. Oh, no, that was just random. Random.
So you need to make a
recording of
note
things.
to make a note.
I'm going to make a note to make a note. One moment. Needs.
Yeah.
I
So
need
you're going to need 3 rolls, or is it just going to be 1?
3 rolls. Actually, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4 rolls.
So what do they call Spanish GURPS?
GURPOS?
La GURPS?
Los
They-
GURPOS?
Pesos?
No. I probably wouldn't think of it that way. I would probably actually you shouldn't have any GURPS on your sheet anyway.
No, but
I see crowns, guineas, pence, pesos, and shillings for me.
Yeah.
I like Las GURPS though. If that's funny.
Hold that thought. All right, so the first roll there is for finding a buyer, which is going to be at fewer penalties. That's going to be +1 for population. What is your Spanish level? Accented?
It is accented, yes.
So that's going to be a total of -1, and you are going to succeed in finding a buyer for the goods that you brought in from Harbor Island.
That's good news.
And I need to make some notes
What
about
were
this.
what were the goods we had from Harbor Island?
You actually just picked up some random goods. So, second one is freight. The third one is passengers.
Yep.
So I'm writing these down. No, that was a 9. And the last one is speculative cargo, and that is
Probably not much there then. Not with that roll.
all right. So it looks like I'll have to do a final tally later. It's possible you're going to find some stuff later, but at least on the first day, you're not. With the exception of the buyer. So that one you'll find no problem. You're at some relatively significant penalties for the other 3 because of, except for the speculative. The freight and passengers has an issue with how far you're going to Campeche, whether or not
Right.
anybody's got anything headed that direction. Yada yada yada.
Yep. In this case, I don't think we were necessarily expecting to pick anything up, which is good since I got success by 2 on the first one after the minus. Where you said is total -1,
Yes, that is true.
and then fail by 1, succeed by 4, succeed by 0, and those are the ones with the substantial penalties.
Yep.
So that's probably like fail by 5, fail by 1, fail by 4, that kind of crap.
Now, bear in mind that just means it may take longer to find it rather than not finding it.
It's all good.
And I kind of meant to do those in the box and completely forgot that.
Oh,
We'll just move on without it. So we'll deal with the particulars in that case later. So, Ronky, were you putting forth an amount you wanted to convert?
I just wanted to have enough to do my shore activity.
Okay.
So,
Well,
pick up some more opium or laudanum.
right.
It worked out to be 3 shillings per week.
Right.
And then there's like hotel accommodation for however long we stay there and stuff.
So just a place to sleep is going to be 2 reales, and good lodgings per day is 10 reales. And if you want more public accommodation, it's the equivalent of 2 pennies, 24 maravedis in this case. Reales, if I recall correctly,
How is that spelt?
pretty much as it sounds, Reales. Should be on a sheet already.
It is not, but it is now.
Let's see. It was almost 1 for 1 for a 6 pence. So it's basically 1 real. 1 real is half a shilling, effectively.
So 2 shillings for every realis. And how much
1
is the
shilling
room?
for every 2 reales. So,
Sorry. So how much is a room?
what did I
Like
say?
lodgings?
Which kind?
The
What, the good lodgings?
better than crap.
Good lodgings is effectively 5 shillings, 10 reales. That's your baseline standard.
All right.
So, for example, if you wanted to stay for 4 days, you'd want to convert like 20 shillings or thereabout.
that's a lot of money.
It is a fair bit.
All right. Well, then I will convert 20 shillings.
All right. I had planned to have you have to conversion rates and some stuff like that. I think I'm just going to ignore that for now. So you can just convert them as is. So if you convert 20 shillings, that's going to get you 40 reales. Now that's just the room. It's not food. It's not beer. It's not anything else. So yeah, maybe you want to do more. But this does matter eventually, because if you have Spanish money on you at some point, say you get jumped by the Guardacosta and they say, oh, look, he has Spanish money. He's been trading with Spanish, means he's smuggler. And some of you already have reales.
Not me. I have some pesos.
Or pesos. Pesos bigger.
I have like 6 pesos. That's not much.
Well, they're bigger than reales.
Can we use pesos instead of realis?
Yes. They'll have to make change.
All right. But can we use it without having to convert? That's what I'm asking.
Well, yeah, they're Spanish money.
Right.
How much do you have?
Okay. 20 pesos.
Oh, geez, yeah. Yeah, that's like the equivalent of 80 shillings.
Oh, wow. Really?
Okay, well then I'm not converting then.
Okay,
S-
there you go.
Sorry, how many how many reales in a peso?
Reales and a peso.
Daniel's totally got a chart.
No, I got a spreadsheet.
That's more nerdy.
8. 8.
8 reales to a peso.
Mm-hmm.
I think Fantasy Grounds actually had a converter.
It's got some stuff in there now, but I haven't used it because I don't know how it works. It sounds like most of you actually have some Spanish money already. I know Payne had some reales that he got from his adventures in Santo Domingo, if I recall correctly.
I have 10 reales.
All right. Well, we shall not dwell.
Is there a
much
difference
longer
between
on that.
reales and reals?
They're the same thing. That is, realis is more proper spelling.
Yeah, and I look at it and I go, "Oh, it's a real."
Well, that would be understandable if you did.
Calm down, lady. I speak just English and bad English.
Okay. We have mostly established the business end. And now we'll get on with the rest of it. So, today is, as stated, Friday, 16th. And you guys arrived mid-morning-ish, before noon. And as stated, it is cool, and it's basically looks like it's going to rain probably all day here, off and on. It's not real heavy, but it's basically good English weather.
Is this the day after I watched that guy drop?
This is the day before, so we're having to
Okay.
backtrack just a little bit.
Okay.
So here again is the map of Havana, but I wanted to point out this image instead, as this image is a bit late period. It's from the 1800s, but it gives you a better view of what's going on. Just FYI, this castle over here does not exist. And also, steamships don't exist.
They could be like whalers and doing that thing.
But they don't have paddle wheels.
That's just a really big circle thing for.
Artistic flair.
Yes, that's it. Artistic flair.
Indeed.
Nelson Randall
and
wants one.
I realize that
want
I
this to
kind of
use-
need a
Keep the merman
token.
off, at bay.
Let's see. We will use. I don't have a ship.
That's your problem. We got a ship.
We'll use that. We've got that little map icon thing, but I don't want to have to dig for it. So I'm thinking you guys are probably anchored around there, so we will call it that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So you're right off the Plaza de San Francisco, and the Fort La Fuerza is over there, and the treasure fleet is parked all at that end. Actually, I wonder if they're not actually parked over here somewhere, but for your geographical orientation.
Nope. I didn't put any points in navigation. I don't know where anything's at.
Since I've been watching Black Sails, is the La Costa here?
Do it.
The La Costa Spanish treasure ship.
You're not talking about the Urca de Lima, are you?
That's the one.
No, it is not. In fact, that happened 10 years ago. And also, if you're paying real close attention, you'll find that the writers of Black Sails had no idea about the geography. But
I think it's
mind that.
probably artistic license more than anything.
No, they just had no idea. Not as bad as Crossbones, but they still really didn't know.
So was that an actual real event that the treasure ship wrecked and stuff?
Oh, there's a lot of treasure ships that wrecked. That one in particular, I don't know about being historical. They took a lot of license in that show. So historicity there, while it's thematically correct, I think I wouldn't use that as a basis for any understanding of actual historical events.
So
What?
loosely based on true events.
Well, to be fair,
Emphasis on loosely.
it's actually a prequel to Treasure Island.
Interesting.
So
No,
Flint,
you didn't.
Silver,
Tell me you
they're
did
all
not.
Treasure
You knew
Island.
that. Did you? Are you really just learning that, Brian?
I did not know it was I knew all the characters.
Wow.
Flint and Silver and all that sort of stuff. I knew those, but I did not know that Black Sails was a prequel to Treasure Island.
I don't think they officially said that, but it's obviously so. Now, some of the characters are historical characters. They just
wrong
don't do historical things necessarily,
or die historically accurately.
or that.
Because, Hollywood.
Anyway, tangents aside, so you
Squirrel.
guys got through customs and all that, and were pointed toward a particular berth, and were told that you could unload and remove your goods to a particular warehouse where it will be stored before being dispersed wherever it ends up. And meanwhile, well, for starters, Mr. Bold and Mr. Furlong decided that they would remain
NPCs.
behind on the ship for a little bit. I'm looking
NPC
for it.
sheet.
I'm getting there. As you guys had picked up a bit of a leak, and it looks like some teredo worms have bored a nasty little hole in the hull, and it needs some patching.
Damn Minox.
Yeah, basically. And while you guys are getting unloaded, there was an incident where another ship drifted a little too close for some reason. Somebody, the captain aboard at the time, apparently failed his ship handling role, and it bumped into the Grace, and their bowsprit got a bit fouled in the mizzen, and it took a bit of effort to disentangle it, but it was mostly just an annoyance and not a disaster.
Okay, I'm gonna have to, call shenanigans again from when I the last time you ran that. When you
Mhm.
throw out the naval terms, you cannot presume that we know what you're talking about.
They do that all the time in the movies. Of course, it's generally the other way around. They don't know what it means. They do that in Black Sails sometimes too.
Mizzen is the sail.
Mizzen
I'm
is
not
the one
positive.
at the rear, and bowsprit is the one that sticks out in the nose.
Right. Okay. Ooh, look how smart he is.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I busted Black Sails in the season 1 when they had a CG moment showing the ship, and it was and the flags were going the wrong way. Okay, so yeah, other than the minor annoyance there, that
I
didn't
totally
stop
need to
anything.
knock red into the drink.
That was not rolled up. So as you guys are observing, you see that there is a lot of activity out here, in spite of the rain, although most people are trying to stay out of it. But there are a lot of sailors about, and given the fact that the treasure fleet is in town, you can pretty well guess that their presence is related, because those ships are big and they carry a lot of crew. There are a couple of other things that you notice. There is a very pretty French brig a little farther down the docks from you. 140-ton brig. Other than that, you don't know anything about it. And there is another one closer to the treasure fleet that is flying a British ensign. And the couple of you that have the area knowledge will note that the South Sea Company has a Asiento contract with the Spanish that allows them to send one ship per year along with the treasure fleet, carrying slaves and whatnot for trade, and that is their one gimme, which they abuse to hell. This one in particular is 500 tons, fairly big.
Quite a bit larger than us.
Quite a lot larger than you, yes. 10 times, in fact.
We need to get a bigger ship with bigger guns.
One of these days, man. At this point, you guys are all after the ship is unloaded and everything's stored. You guys split off and start doing your things. So, Mr. Hayden, as he starts poking around for where he might find the naval shipping list, He is immediately pointed to La Fuerza, which is just a few blocks up, and you guys passed it on the way in. It is a fairly small fort, and judging from the brass coming in and out, it looks like it's probably where the government happens.
I hope the walls are cleaner.
They're probably not.
They might be.
So, having successfully and quickly found the location of where he needs to go, Hayden can just go in and see what he can make of this situation. So you're expecting the naval records are going to be there. How shall you present?
Well, I'll need the translator.
Right, you were taking pain?
Sir Randall.
If he was available, yes.
And
Sure.
I should point out that the translators totally got crossed somehow. Payne is going with Hayden to research, and Spencer is going with Rogers to go hit a bunch of bars.
That is
Don't know
true.
how that happened.
We probably should have swapped them. But alas,
Whatevs.
well, Spencer has the nosy quirk that he picked up from a failed. I'm going to say it was a failed fright check. So he was probably trying to be nosy and find out what's going on with Lieutenant Rogers. And then his absent-minded kicked in, and he forgot why he was there.
At any rate, so Hayden and Sir Randall are going to the fort, and again, how is Hayden going to present himself? What when you get up to the gate, they're going to challenge you.
Cool. Duels already.
Not that kind of challenge.
Oh.
Politically speaking, they're not friendly, right?
They are not. And given you know the naval situation pretty well, it's probably unusual to be allowed to come look at their naval records, but well, you got what you got.
Then I shall remove my English Navy jacket so I look less English.
Well, if you do that, you're not going to be able to impress them with your military talents or your savoir-faire.
Well, would that be? Well, I don't know what the general perception is. Would that work in my favor, or would it work against me? Is there a certain code that is afforded to officers and gentlemen?
I think I would explain it this way based on my understanding of the situation. This is the period where people stand in a line and shoot each other in the face. And they're very particular about shooting someone to their face. So I think when it comes down to it, if you're going to be a captain, you should go in and be a captain.
All right. Well, then that's what he will do.
All right. So are you just gonna walk up, let the chips fall, or are you going to impress them somehow?
He will try and impress them. He will announce himself as Captain Matthew Hayden, and he'll. Sorry, John Hayden. I'm looking at my notes for Matthew Hayden.
He's a spy. He's a spy.
Shh. So I'll announce myself as Captain John Hayden, and I will request to see, I don't know the Spanish ranks, but whoever would sort of command this fort.
Okay.
And we'll offer a bribe if it becomes necessary. So in terms of skill, I guess I'm using savoir-faire.
Okay. Fair enough.
Random question. Since Sir Randall is present, can he do assists since he's doing the translations?
He most certainly could if he liked.
Sir Randall can add whatever flair he wishes to.
Damn.
Jesus.
Damn, dude.
Yo, recognize high society. I'd like to throw around my status.
El
Do
Capitan
you understand
General.
who this captain is?
Capitan General no está aquí. But we can. He was. They were going to ask your business before they took you in.
We are here seeking some information on a Matthew Sumner.
Would you conceal the fact that he's your son? That might actually give them a sort of like, oh, okay.
Well, it depends on how he's perceived. If he's perceived positively, then he'll add, "This is my son."
Okay. The guards are going to allow you in and point you to an officer who's in charge of directing traffic around here. And his name, as he announces himself, is Teniente Vicente del Valle. And he gets a little more information from you after a little back and forth. Are you basically telling him that you're actually looking for a ship?
I
Or
will.
you just tell him the story? How do you present that?
I will tell him. So, is he forthcoming with information, or is he, clammed up?
Well,
Is this an annoyance to him?
At this point, he's attempting to determine what kind of help you need.
All right. So I'll say that my son, Matthew Sumner, was on the Cardinal Virtue, which was captured by the Spanish. He may have been transferred here as a prisoner. I'd like to see information regarding that matter.
Now, the Teniente does speak a little bit of English, so he will respond in English to the extent that he can. But I imagine you guys are going to back and forth a little bit on that. And he will say that, okay, well, if you're looking for a ship, then you need to see the naval shipping list. And he thinks about that for a second and says, yeah, follow me.
Yeah.
So,
Sir Randall might be able to learn about the latest high society parties while he's here.
You know it.
possibly. And so you guys go into I'm assuming there's some cells below or something like that where they keep their records, and there's a big room with a bunch of books and crap in here, and this is the sort of thing you're used to seeing in the Navy, at least. So this is all pretty familiar. And as he's poking around, he says that, yeah, there was another guy looking for that ship too. Just came in here a few days ago.
Really?
Played down.
Do you remember the gentleman's name?
Capitan Dupre, I believe. Frenchman, obviously. Yeah, he was asking about the cardinal virtue specifically. I remember that.
Do you know if he found what he was looking for?
He did, and it was in this book, if I am correct. And he will go over this particular book of records from how far back was that? It was like 5 years.
In my notes, I've
I
got
looked to
in
remind myself.
1720 the Cardinal
5
Virtue
years.
was captured.
15 September 1719. Almost 20. Yeah, so go through the records, and he kind of goes right to it because he already knew roughly where it was, and shows you, yeah, here's so the Cardinal Virtue was captured, and it was brought back here to Havana. It was here for maybe a week, and then it was given a crew and sailed back to Cadiz to be collected as a prize. The prisoners were taken then to Del Moro, and we don't have the records here in the shipping list as to what happened to them. But you'll have to go to the other fort to see about that.
Is there any names in the manifests?
No. no, not in this case. The names here are related to the Spanish captains that brought it in.
Who shall I speak to at the other fort? I would not like to trouble someone unnecessarily.
I was about to say, well, actually, he could look at a pocket watch. He looks at his pocket watch at the time and says, I can take a break for a bit. And he fetches his sergeant and tells him he's going to be gone for an hour or so, and says, "Come with me. We'll go over there and talk to him together."
It's totally not a trap.
Yep, they'll shove you in a cell and lock it. Spy.
Thank you, sir.
You guys will go back out to the docks, and he will requisition a boat to cross the harbor. And you guys walk up the hill to Del Moro, and
Random question, really quick. Did I'm wondering if Hayden or Payne recognized the name of the captain that was poking through the stuff?
Dupre?
Yeah.
No, that name is not familiar.
Carry on.
What was the name of the guy that Hayden freed to go look for his son?
That was Mikkel Scarab. So you guys come up the hill toward the castle and enter, and Teniente yaps away a little bit here and there at this guard and this officer and that officer, and you guys descend into the bowels of the fort, and you can hear people complaining back in the distance, and there it's clearly got prisoners. And you are shuffled off into a room where they have, once again, a bunch of records. And you guys start poking through it. So it will take 1d6 hours. You may roll. It's going to take a while. But at the end of that period, you can make a research roll.
Does Randall have research?
I do.
I was about to say it'd been funny if the two of you did that and then said, "Damn it, we should have." Where that Spencer?
You could
Wow,
also
good
use
roll.
administration or something like that if it's better.
3, that's
But you got that. So, given the situation,
actually
I
pretty good
will
with the research.
take that as a time reduced by 30%.
Actually, for my notes, can you type into chat the other person that was looking for the cardinal virtue?
That would have made sense to do that thing with that. All right, so instead of 6 hours, you cut it down to 4 hours, and you guys were eventually able to locate the prison records relating to the cardinal virtue and its capture and presentation here in Havana. And what you find is that the prisoners that were brought here to the fort and incarcerated. And then about a week later or so, they were actually taken to Jamaica to be released back to the British. However, while there was a Matthew Sumner on the rolls being entered, there was no Matthew Sumner on the rolls being taken away. They will note that there is not currently a Matthew Sumner in the prison. Therefore, he is gone.
What would the explanation be?
Well, they're going to have records if he died, and they're going to have records if he was released. Therefore, he probably escaped somehow.
Would there not be records of his escape? Like he, didn't turn up for count?
Maybe. Maybe they don't like to record such things. I don't know. Whether or not they actually wrote it down or didn't, you can basically make out that he had to have escaped. Either that or something happened off books.
And that would have happened roughly how long ago? Still the 5
So
years?
that was still around 5 years, yeah. Probably late in that year, 19. And with that, unless you have any other questions you need to clear up first.
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. Claude, you have been poking around at the docks today, and I will again point out the fact that Davino can speak Spanish, and Davino is also poking around the docks. Although in his case, he's actually looking for work because he's a weirdo.
All right.
Shall you be following him around, or shall you be leading him around, or ignoring him?
Probably sticking close. But if I remember right, Claude hopped off the boat before it even really got tied down and took off. So,
Oh, I didn't realize he took off.
yeah.
Really wanted off that boat.
Mm-hmm. Claude's got a one of those long-term sanity things to work off, or 3 of them. I can't remember.
All right. So at some point you will find yourself looking at that French brig.
Probably, yeah. Basically checking out like what all ships are in harbor, and
It looks something like so.
it's not one that Claude recognizes, though, right?
No, and Claude actually can't read either, so don't know what the name of the ship is, but it's very pretty. And as Claude is standing there looking at the ship, I guess Davino is somewhere else, so he can't translate if somebody's speaking Spanish. Just from behind Claude hears "Elle est belle, no?"
Is that in Spanish?
French.
Oh, in French. The player, do not know French, so you're going to have to
Right,
translate
okay.
for me.
Fair enough. Yeah. So, I asked, said it's beautiful, isn't it?
Claude will, not really like whip around, but turn around suddenly to see who's speaking. Claude is shy, so
Yeah, probably jumped.
mm-hmm.
Looks like so.
Claude will, after a moment, just quietly, yes, it is.
Are you looking for work?
At that, Claude will look a little interested. I'm on another ship that's in port as part of their crew, but I am always looking for a day's wages.
No, we could always use new crew, but if you've already got a ship, not as grand as this one, I expect.
Claude
name
will
is,
actually look offended, like, oof.
Capitaine Alain Eberard Dupuy, at your service. This is Le Chasseur.
Captain, it's good to meet you. I'm Claude, and Claude will, like, in the way of shy people, like, just kind of awkwardly jut out a hand to shake, and then probably pull it back, like that's probably not what I should do.
Yeah, he's totally laughing. Well, pleasure to meet you. I'll be about my business then. Good day.
Good day, Captain. And Claude will, like, bolt further down the dock.
Let's see who's next. So sometime in the afternoon, still raining all day here and there, as it has been. Robert Mogridge, your fellow crewman, has been fishing at the docks, as he often does for his leisure time. He's out there during one of the occasional lulls in the rain, and since Claude is definitely hanging around the docks, Claude will probably be the first to notice. Let's have anybody else. Well, let's see. Hayden and Payne are both going to be otherwise occupied at the moment, so the only other
And
ones
is
would be
this the
Rogers
day?
and Spencer.
Is this not the day that Spencer and Rogers are bar crawling?
Right. So if they show up here, it would be because they were passing through. So roll a d6.
Both of us?
Just the one, I guess.
Rogers?
Either one. All right. So you guys didn't catch this. So Claude's the one that gets the sees this happening. You see Mogridge was fishing. He waves back at you as he's clearly fighting something very heavy. And there's a
merman.
bit of a commotion starting at the docks because there are a number of other people here that are getting interested in what's going on. And
Sadly, Randall can't see that he's going to land a merman.
no, though you could always tell him he has. And
Which crew is
after-
this? I'm sorry. I was writing a
sorry.
note.
you know, I meant to actually do the thing. Hold on.
It was Mogridge?
Mogridge.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah. So he was having some difficulties pulling this fish in, and took him about an hour.
Wow. Hopefully a big fish.
And once he finally pulled it in,
It's a merman.
it's not a merman. It's freaking huge, though.
That is a large fish.
And of course, once he finally hauls that thing in, the crowd that has gathered around is all clapping and all that.
See some coin change hands.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really big fish.
Yeah, 100 pounds.
It's an ugly one, too.
He may be grilling tonight.
You think? And tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day.
So, in the meantime, Rogers and Spencer are doing a pub crawl
We took Dora
Yes.
with us,
with Dora.
which is odd, but
And throughout the day, you're hitting a number of these places. And what I'm figuring is, so Rogers is doing two things right now. One, he's looking for the British spy network in town, and the other one is he's looking for Pickford Rodney. When it comes to the spy network thing, what I was going to ask was, if you were a spy in Havana, where would you set up shop? Because if your job was to find out military or government secrets,
But Taylor,
boom.
That would be
it's
funny.
Derek.
I did not think of that.
No, that only works in Panama, Mark.
it's still Spanish.
Right. You didn't get the reference then, did you?
Soldier Tinker Tailor.
No, the Tailor of Panama.
Oh, well,
Yeah, I wouldn't have
Similar.
got that either.
Yeah.
Mosh doesn't have any ideas.
Well, Nosh has many ideas, but Nosh isn't a spy.
Are we
So-
sure of that?
So I could presume somewhere with some way of interacting with the fortified area of the harbor.
Okay, well, if Notch doesn't have any particular ideas in that regard, I just figured I'd give you somewhere to start. So there are plenty of bars, taverns, and whatnot that are in the general area, and there are a couple of barracks at least that are pretty easily spotted with a lot of military traffic. So it seems
Might
like the
also be-
logical places to start.
Might also be a good idea to be like a innkeeper or tavern owner
Or
something
whatever,
like
yeah.
that.
Those kind of things. So just to establish how he was beginning his search there. But so for the day of the 16th, by the end of the day, he has not come across anybody that that he has identified as a potential British spy. Oh, right. The other thing I was going to bring up there was signal. So I figured I'd let you decide what sort of signal would be appropriate. But I'm remembering, for example, the Culper ring. had that deal where anytime the tavern guy wanted to disseminate some information, he would put out an ad in the paper for like raspberry brandy or something like that. Now in this case, you don't have a paper you can do, but you could, I don't know, be creative.
Well, I suppose I could put something on the back end of the ship,
You could.
like a dead monkey.
Where would you find one?
Boom looks at you in horror.
No, Boom has a dead monkey. Don't ask where he got it.
But yes, I could go all X-Files and put something in the window.
Yeah. All right. Well, so you're doing that and bar hopping, and we'll see if anybody picks up, but not today. But as you're going through, you did get some people that recognized the name of Pickford Rodney and eventually pointed you toward the prison. So you'll be going there in the morning.
And Sheena got dropped.
Twice.
Yeah, it's whoa, deja vu.
So later, well, in sometime in the afternoon, Hayden and Sir Randall are basically done with their research, have found what they were going to find. What is Hayden going to go off and do? Seeing as he's accomplished his business here.
Then he'll resort to his SOP. So he'll take care of our ship matters.
So he's going to grab an armload of paperwork and go back to his hotel and start going through papers.
He should probably get the administration skill.
He probably should. He's usually got people for that, though.
Unfortunately, there's a lack of that. So he'll do that, and once all that's taken care of, then he's going to gather information for our next leg. If there's any important information that we need to be aware of, he's going to try and find that.
Okay.
And after all that, he'll just pull out his books and read in a quiet corner.
All right, well, you'll be about that, and Sir Randall will be released to his own affairs, at least until Spencer calls him up and says we need to schmooze. But that probably won't happen today. So Sir Randall is running about, attempting to find some amusement for the evening, some gathering somewhere with a bunch of hoity-toity types. And everywhere he ends up going in that regard, people keep saying, "Oh, Mr. Payne, there was a guy here not so long ago, a Frenchman. What was his name? Bossonade?"
Yes,
He
Very
said he was a very friendly gentleman, and he said that we should be on the lookout for a Sir Randall Payne. That must be you.
I am Payne.
And of course, nobody can actually tell you why they were supposed to be on the lookout for you, but the word has gotten around apparently.
Man, that rival of yours, you're going to have to kill him one day, aren't you?
Well, he's not out to kill me.
That you know of.
I didn't buy him as rival to die.
Well, he is French, though.
Hey,
What I find funny, though, is he's better than you.
How is he better than him?
Yeah,
He's one step ahead.
No, that's not necessarily better. That's just doesn't like his crew as well as I do, and give the crew their lead.
He's just ahead. He's not better. Tortoise in the hair.
Sir Randall should totally rip off that line. It's like, yes, I am quite familiar with seeing the backs of Frenchmen.
But at some point, your efforts bear fruit, and you are eventually invited to a particular salon to be held in the evening, and you've got just long enough to go get yourself sorted for it, assuming you need to. Sometime after sundown, Captain Hayden will get a knock on his door.
It's assassins.
It's not assassins.
He will open the door.
And it will be one of your crew, Ollie McNeil, who informs you that he's been robbed and or swindled out of all his money that he had on hand by a no-good thieving Spaniard, and wonders if he couldn't possibly get an advance to cover his hotel.
Does McNeil, is from knowledge, is he a gambling sort?
He's a sailor.
He has been known to place a bet here and there. Maybe not
Do I
as a
detect lies?
profession,
No.
but this is the first time anybody's come to you with this problem, so it's not like it's endemic or something.
Who normally does the payroll? Is that the
I
quartermaster?
wonder. I believe the term you're looking for here is steward,
It's not parser.
or possibly purser.
Who is our purser?
I
Do we
wonder.
have a purser?
I'm pretty sure Spencer is the purser.
Well, that's awesome. I can chastise this guy for losing all this money.
Well, Mr. McNeil, while I sympathize with your situation, you do realize that it is Mr. Spencer that you must see with regards to a forward on your pay.
Oh yeah, I figured I'd get permission first.
By all means, you have my permission to see Mr. Spencer, but the decision falls to him.
Aye, sir.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, sir.
You could tell me where the doctor's sleeping tonight.
You can tell me where the doctor's sleeping tonight, sir.
I assume Spencer and Hayden are in the same place. Those are better than crap.
Maybe.
Apparently that was not the SOP.
Well, if Hayden knows where Spencer is, then he will direct McNeil to him.
That is actually something probably need to add to the SOP is, does everybody tell everybody where everybody's going?
It's probably wise to do that. At least the PCs.
No,
The
I am
important
making
characters.
the assumption that the rest of the crew, if they get hotels or whatnot, that they are going to all stay in the same place or near enough.
Just 1 second. I'm going to roll something.
God help us.
He just randomly wanted to roll something, so.
It's not really relevant. But
No.
As-
Oh dear.
as McNeil walks away, Mr. McNeil,
Aye, sir.
and Hayden will, pull a few coins from his purse. In the event you don't find Mr. Spencer, and he'll
Thank you, sir. I'll
give him a few
consider it
coins.
debt.
So, I don't know, a couple of pesos.
Yeah, that's probably all he needs. Just a nice dry corner somewhere. Oh, actually, you can give him pesos. Yeah, that's going to be plenty.
Have a
That'll
good
let him
evening,
get
Mr.
back into-
McNeil.
That'll let him get back into that game.
Shh. And with that, a little bit later, well after sundown, Sir Randall will go attend his shindig.
Is he wearing very tight
Shindig.
pants?
Tight?
He may be wearing tight pants. Ah,
They shiny a lot.
I wanted to bring something up in that I don't recall what sort of clothing Sir Randall purchased, at least on his character sheet when he was created, but I'm presuming he has the proper status for that.
I would have thought that's what I would have bought. Status appropriate.
Probably. So he should be up to his normal status. However, he also, while he doesn't have it written on his character sheet, I know that the player has stated that he refuses to wear a wig ever,
Oh wow, I thought
Unless
that was actually a quirk.
unless the player decides to backtrack on that.
Let's see. That guy's not wearing a wig. That guy's not wearing a wig. That guy's not wearing a wig. And
Are
that
you
guy's
sure?
not wearing. Yeah, you can tell those aren't wigs.
Yeah, well, this is a later period anyway.
He's not wearing. That guy's wearing is.
I'm just saying.
Is wherever.
Whether or not
I'm
you're wearing
fashion forward.
whether or not you're wearing a wig kind of depends on your status, and at your status level, you may be expected to wear one.
Oh, good lord.
That just means you might be considered a little out of fashion and may raise an eyebrow here and there. I just wanted
Or
to
it
bring it
may just draw further attention to him. They're like, "Ooh,
It may just draw
He's a-
further attention to you.
he's
Who
a
knows?
rebel."
How
But,
did
Edgy.
how did wigs ever become a thing?
I have no idea. It seems
British man.
completely ridiculous. No, it's not just the British in this case.
It was the
Okay, guys.
French.
It's probably the French who started it.
It was probably the French. That sounds like a thing they would do.
It seems to me it had a lot to do with keeping your hair short so lice would just stay in the wig.
That seems appropriate.
And that apparently they had jars of honey that you would shake your wig out at so the lice would fall into the honey.
Yeah, that tracks with my understanding as well.
All right, well, in any case, I'm not going to penalize you for that. I just wanted to bring it up since you're a foreigner anyway. So you did get invited. You show up. There are probably, I couldn't find a good image for a party that was, smaller than that. So it's not quite that packed in this house. But there's stuff going on. You feel good. You feel high society in here.
My people.
Although they're all Spanish, and you have trouble following sometimes. You do have accented, right?
Yes.
So, how is Sir Randall going to present himself at this party?
What do you mean?
That is, what are you going to do?
Oh,
With yourself.
Hobnob, chat people up.
So you're just
talk,
going to start
rumors.
Start
Control
finding
the
land.
clumps of people and start inserting yourself into the conversation,
Sure.
more or less.
Does he arrive fashionably late?
I think it's expected of the French, is it not?
You're not French, though.
Oh, but you're not French.
Oh, never. That's right. Spanish.
So as he's like moving around the crowd, do we hear the Jaws theme?
No.
Exactly.
Oh, a lady.
Well, given that, I will allow you to make a roll against Savoir-Faire High Society. You will be at -1 for your accented Spanish. And you may potentially roll a complementary skill if you have one in mind.
Does appearance help?
And like at the transmutation.
I don't know if that applies in this case, unless it says that it always applies. I don't recall. I can find that out. But do go on.
Nearby. It's funny.
See what else I've got.
Sex appeal.
Yes, I was going with that, and it would for that, sure. But I think it's already applies. Well, does it?
Okay. Gives +1 on reaction rolls, but does that have a different rule?
You tried to fail.
Apparently.
Congratulations, though. You failed to fail. So I guess that's something.
I don't recall what all my penalties or bonuses are, but there's that.
Did a -1
okay.
for the language, and then complimentary is +1. So it would just be that. Wow, you got a 16.
Damn. Yeah, he knows his stuff.
I'm like, do I have any skills that are at 16? Nope. My highest is 14.
Diplomacy for me is also out of 16.
Nope.
Yeah,
Sorry,
the,
first aid is 15.
Appearance would definitely apply to the sex appeal part, and that one wouldn't have been penalized. But that was the assist, so that gets you.
Sex
Yeah, you
appeal
would've been
probably
about
already
+5.
got it built in. I was looking at the
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
looking
I
at
think it
the
was.
character on the wiki. It has the 2 asterisks, which includes +1 from appearance, and it's a skill level of 12.
Okay, so Sir Randall
Savoir faire by
starts
4.
finds a clump of people with a higher ratio of females to males, and inserts himself into that conversation about politics and whatnot, and just starts telling his side of the story, and they're just eating it up. Apparently, they think you're the you're
Bee's knees.
you're the star of the day, snickering at your accent.
I lean into it, just like Americans in Great Britain. Like, oh, you have an American accent. Ooh, you're so exotic.
As you guys are going through the party, at some point you are distracted when out of the corner of your eye you see a remarkable beauty.
Yep.
And you notice that while people do seem to glance back, they're not really interacting with her all that much until one particular fellow seems a little grabby to you, which she rebuffs him and sends him on his way. And then he goes off. Clearly, this guy's a little bit drunk. And he starts loudly talking about his recent escapades with this particular female.
What
She
is
is
appropriate role to embarrass him, or
Rapier.
I don't have rapier wit. Well, yes,
Rapier.
but
he was talking about
yeah,
rapier point.
But what would be the
Right. So your attempt is to insult him or embarrass him. So I believe there is a thing for that. Hold on. That's the beauty of social engineering. It comes up with things for that.
A question for you, Mark. Does he actually have guilt complex?
I do?
Oh, we forgot about that
Yeah,
after
I meant
some of the characters got shot.
I meant to bring that up because you skated on that one.
I thought it was with death, not injury.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's kind of brutal. You'll want to
Hold
reread
on.
it.
Let me read it.
I mean, it's not as bad as the one that Newt had. That whole freaking what the hell was it? Indecisive. Holy crap!
Yeah, that was nasty.
Very nasty. Yeah, it's one of those. It's like if they are, I want to say if they are, anything bad happens, like if they're injured or whatnot.
If anything bad happens to someone like this, you will be racked with anxiety and guilt, even if there was nothing you could have done. Okay.
Yeah, that's like
Now, all right. Define bad. An
We had-
injury.
2 characters who were shot and could have died on the operating table.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, that was at Nassau. You guys spent a week at Nassau recovering, so it's possible that he got over it in that time.
Probably
I
wandering
don't
like
think it
a
lasted
worried
that long.
like a father waiting for his wife in labor kind of thing.
Anyway,
All right,
that
I'll
was
just make sure I
a bit of
remember
a
that.
rabbit hole there. So it looks like
Others
public
can
speaking-
help.
public speaking, fast talk. It's not in print, so not writing or poetry. There are some other things. So, for example, if you knew something about this person, you could poke at his particular flaws, character flaws, that sort of thing. But given your character, I would probably guess that fast talk is going to be the one that you'd want to use here.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And if you win the contest against his will, you can basically trigger bad temper, bully, or just make him back down in general.
Quick, get him to challenge you into a duel. Because the
What do I
ladies
end
like
up with? Ooh, that was a pretty good roll. So are you just tell me about
My
what you got
attempt is to either get him to basically knock it off, and if I can't, if possible, like shut him up and have him like lay off the subject.
My friend is dead tired.
Sounds like he's compensating.
Yep.
All right, so you give him a good ribbing.
He forgets that he forgets that whole scenario happened in his dreams.
He realizes that you are insulting him, and he gets a bit huffed, but he does refocus himself on you.
Fight, 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 fight.
I'm capable.
And he will get a little into your personal space, and you can smell the alcohol.
I will definitely make comment about. Yeah, I was like, woo, tasting the wonderful the wonderful, a bit too much into the quality rum around here.
Pity you don't have public speaking, because you could totally do the, am I right? To get everybody to laugh at the guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to be picking this up.
Public speaking insult.
Yep.
Actually, what is that? I think there should be a skill for that. They have debate, oratory, punning, rhetoric, and storytelling.
I know it does mention actually storytelling in the whole salon thing that I had picked up out of that document.
Yeah, just thinking that through, public speaking storytelling probably really does kind of fit with Sir Randall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where he's like, and then we were boarded by maremen.
He may have just told that story a little bit ago.
Hey,
Well,
I know what to spend my points on next.
given the temporary reputation boost you've got, gets you a little extra, and the others in the party seem to be laughing off this fellow, and he is very disappointed with the situation and decides to slink off somewhere else where people are more agreeable.
Man, I was hoping he was going to slap Randall in the face and we'd have a duel.
Me too.
Could throw an insulting or a parting insult as he's leaving to try to trigger bad temper or whatever. Daniel's like, I don't want to duel, damn it. Stop it, Phil.
What now then?
Well, I will, present my apologies for male kind to the young lady. And
Introduce yourself. Be awesome.
Be awesome.
She graciously accepts your apology on behalf of male kind and introduces herself as Amira Mercedes. Damn it, name.
De Luna.
DeLuna, sorry.
It's up. It's in there.
Yeah, well, I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at a different thing. And says you duel well, sir. And she is speaking English at this point, and her accent is adorable.
As it should be. I will engage in
He went out
banter with her.
Long story
Just
short,
as
let's see how you dance.
I had dancing. Oh, I do have dancing.
Oh,
Ha!
really?
And,
figured he did.
I do have bennies, so.
But you're going to be at -2 for unfamiliarity because this is a Spanish dance.
What? What?
You don't know the steps.
You should be fine unless you have a mediocre skill.
Can I take an evaluate action for, for a moment?
You know, I'll allow you a compliment. Observation, maybe? Would it be perception-based dancing?
Sure. Maybe. I don't know. Is my perception better than my dex? It's about the same. All right. Anyway, I got bennies. So just going to roll it.
Well, was
Time
that
to
the
improve that
was
skill.
that the assist?
Oh, for Oh, I guess carousing.
That's true. That's true. You could totally cheat and use carousing for that. You look like you're partying. You're doing it on purpose.
Yes.
Look at the silly Inglés.
But I will so I'll throw some bennies into the dancing. So I'll use the carousing to kind of pretend like I'm worse, but then it becomes quite apparent that it was more for show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm assuming the carousing is about.
Mostly,
You're
and then
failing in an
I will
entertaining way.
definitely I'm failing forward, but then I will pick it up, and then when she says something that was unusual, well, anything to see the smile.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You big smoothie. All right. Well, the evening passes. Fun was had, and toward the closing of the event, Amira will have you escort her out to the door and see that she is awaiting a coach. And she will head over toward the coach and look back to you and say, "You may pick me up around midday at the Plaza Vieja."
The Plaza Vieja. And I bow.
And she will curtsy back and then get into the coach and drive away with a big stupid smile on her face.
And I have to secure a coach for the Plaza Vieja tomorrow.
Damn it, I didn't think about that. Should have got prices for a coach. All right. And with that, Friday comes to an end. Saturday.
Lieutenant Rogers is kicked out of the brothel.
Lieutenant Rogers is going to be kicked out of the brothel. So, stuff going on. So, in the morning, the rain has finally stopped. It is going to be partly cloudy all day and still cool, but the breeze is not too bad. And the moisture is somewhat reduced. And given the situation at the moment, I think I am going to take a break.
You're a slacker.
And we will come back and get to Rogers and his morning issues.
Is that what we're calling it now? Morning issues?
I know, right?
Indeed.
Excellent.
Brief intermission.
Okay, we're back.
Yay. All right. Saturday, 17 February, 1725. Weather has already been stated.
You
Let's
said it was
see.
getting better. It's like clean or cleared up now.
Yeah, it stopped raining. It's still a little cloudy, but the sun's poking out here and there, so it's not as bad. I wanted to check real quick on Hayden, what he's going to end up doing today. Or are you just sticking with the paperwork for the most part? No, you were, what was looking for data on the destination. That's what it was.
Yes.
Where would you go to find that? I guess you could just go around to the sailors and bars and stuff and,
Merchants.
yeah, start asking people if they've been there and what they know. Yeah, that's reasonable. Okay. I guess you'll get started on that in the morning. In the meantime, Rogers, did he sleep at the brothel or did he actually go back to the hotel? Not that it's horribly important.
Oh, he'd go back to the hotel.
Okay. You don't want to pay those rates. Yeah, so he gets up in the morning and heads out to the prison. Del Moro, expecting to find Pickford Rodney there, and is pointed to a guy who is then hanged. Now what?
Yay!
What
I
will
have
he
to.
do
I have
from
to.
it?
I have to heal myself. That's the first thing.
That's true. So what did you do yesterday? You just pub crawled basically, so you weren't really stressing yourself out too much. I'll give you that.
Excellent. So I see this guy hang, and is there any way I could maybe check out his belongings?
You ask the prison guard if you can see his stuff. I don't remember what you rolled last time, but I believe he was cooperating, so we'll just continue that and say, sure?
All right. After all,
Right. You were here by yourself. You
I
don't have a
was.
translator.
I don't.
And you don't
And
speak Spanish.
And I've probably completely forgotten that I was helping him yesterday entirely.
Well, he decided to run off on his own. He speaks broken French, but not Spanish. Yeah, you just happen to find the guard that speaks just enough English that he can more or less figure out what it is that you're trying to accomplish here. So you kind of point your eyes. I want to see him, and says okay, and he yells back at some other people here, and you see that the body's being hauled down and taken off to wherever it is that they take them. And a little bit later, he'll come back and say, "Follow,"
I will follow.
and he will lead you into the bowels of the fort. Not the same bowels that Haydn was here yesterday. And they will take you to a room where the dead man lay, and he will say that no things, just body, no things. And he will point at the guy.
Wear clothing. Wear clothing. Or is he still wearing his clothes?
He is still dressed, yes.
All right. But just no personal belongings.
Yeah, he doesn't have any effects, as far as you can tell. And so, your next line of questioning here.
Well, I will do a search on the body all the same.
Okay, so you rummage through his pockets for a minute. Meanwhile, the guard is talking to the guy that brought him in here, and some various other people as they're getting situated. You had no idea what the hell they're talking about, but you do hear the name Pickford Rodney being said a couple of times in various tones of voice that sound not the tone you would have had expected. Something like, "Este no es Rodney. Rodney me debe dinero."
Okay. I don't speak Spanish.
So, in another minute or two after the two speaking are very confused, and the guy that brought you in here will say, "No Rodney.
This no Rodney?
No Rodney."
Well then, who is this?
That was Matthew.
But no. He'll rattle off another name. And he'll show you the list where the name that he just gave you is crossed out and Pickford Rodney is written in next to it.
Ah. Where is he? And I point to Pickford. Show me.
No sé, un momento. And he'll go run around a bit, and there's more chattering back and forth while you're stuck in here looking at a dead body. And eventually he will come back and say, "Officer not here. He go."
When?
Oi, ¿cuándo? Hace una hora? 1 hour?
Okay.
He make change.
He make change. Where change house?
Oh, book. He write change. And he's pointing to the record where the dude was crossed out.
Where he go?
Now you're doing it.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, ¿dónde? No sé. And there's a little back and forth again. And eventually he says, went that way. And he's pointing down the hill.
Mucho gracias, señores. I will drop 6 6 reales into his hand.
Oh, gracias, senor. And he will show you back out of the castle.
And I will start walking down the hill.
All right. How will you sort this out at this point?
I'm going to continue walking down the hill and keep my eyes open for someone who does not look like they belong in this area.
Now, he did say, as far as you got out of him, that he had left an hour ago.
Yep. Well, I'm going to start
Or
walking.
thereabout.
I'm going to keep
So you're
walking.
just going to walk until you see something.
Something that just makes me go,
All right. What manner of skills do you have that might be helpful in that regard?
Well, let's see. I've got observation. I've got search, shadowing. I've got smuggling. I've got find Rodney Picker. Well, look at that skill.
Boy, that was
I've-
convenient.
Was very convenient. Carousing. That's about it, I think.
Yeah, and you're having a real hard time communicating with people as well.
Well, I can walk for a little while, and if I get the clear impression that nothing is going to materialize, I'll turn around and find the good doctor.
All right then. How long is too long? Let's call it an hour. So you're gonna walk around for an hour on the roads back and forth away from the castle. You think about the logical places where somebody might have gone from there, and there's roads going everywhere. It's like I can't figure that out.
Sure.
So back into town with you. You can secure a ferry across the harbor. And where is Spencer at this point?
It depends on what time of day it is, because he's probably going to spend at least probably the first half of the day doing the cargo passenger thing, and
Well,
then he's going to go off someplace.
I was about to tell you where he was, but yeah, I was going to add, by the way, since Rogers is going in and out of the city walls at this point, he'll be observing that the walls are still actually under construction. The city walls are, and from your observation, it looks kind of like a lowest bidder situation.
Okay.
Yeah, just as he's observing thing that the city walls actually won't be finished until 1740, but he doesn't know that. Yes, Spencer is currently at a meeting with a potential buyer for the English goods that you guys brought in. He has Dora with him because she's mostly gravitating toward him these days anyway. That might be his fault.
It might be.
Uh,
Just looking out for her.
oh, I got a thing. Hold on.
Uh-oh, he's got a thing. Watch out, everybody.
Not that kind of thing. Damn it. I forgot the other thing. No, that didn't come up yet.
Mission fail.
Yeah, there's a plantation outside, just a little bit outside of town.
So we're outside of town then.
Yeah, and this is some wealthy plantation guy, and has expressed an interest in purchasing the English goods because he's got a lot of crap to build around here, and you guys are in the man's study because he went in there to review his books and see what he can potentially afford with regard to purchasing the goods. And Spencer, is immediately distracted by his not insignificant library containing a number of significant / interesting / esoteric volumes.
And the dude's probably gonna find me staring at these things.
He's going, ooh, this is that. And this is that. Nothing
Yes.
Nothing hidden lore-like necessarily, but certainly interesting.
Yes, and he will probably discuss it, possibly at length, which may end up boring Dory to tears, or may not. I don't know. We don't know enough about her, what she knows and such.
Well, you're probably also starting in Spanish too, but she's seen you around books at least once or twice by this point, and she's probably rolling her eyes.
And the guy probably has to go, whoa, what was that? As I accidentally change languages
into
and then go,
Italian.
oh, sorry.
He will say that this collection is mostly inherited from his father/grandfather, and that he hasn't read a whole lot of it. And he suspects that some pieces in this collection might get him into trouble one day.
I'm certain they will, especially this one, and this one.
And he's also heard some rumors lately that a couple of other gentlemen of Havana have similar libraries have been attacked in their homes, and their libraries ransacked by robed weirdos within the last month or so. And he has been concerned with his own safety of late.
Yes, that does sound terrible. Do you happen to have any idea what was taken?
He does not. He hasn't been hit himself, so he hasn't had any experience with it. He's just heard that going through the grapevine.
Huh. Robed weirdos.
He does know the names of the guys that were hit, though. He'll point those out.
Yeah, I'll definitely take note of those and then hopefully remember it.
Yeah, and he will also add that just yesterday, a stranger came calling over here, said he had heard the same rumors, and said that he would be in the area for a week or so should something come up. And he gave me a place name where he could find him, which I have not determined exactly. And
What an
it says
odd place
you could potentially go there and find him if maybe he knows something more about it.
I may very well do that. Thank you, sir. What was his name?
I don't remember his name. He was a very pleasant, well-spoken foreign guy.
Huh.
Meanwhile, back at the docks, the South Sea Company ship that you guys had identified the previous day is in fact preparing to depart. It is also called the Elizabeth, in case anybody cares. I suppose Claude might have poked around at that. Actually, probably not, because that's a little too close to the treasure fleet, and they're very particular about security over here, as you have noticed.
Darn, all the shinies.
They do not like foreigners poking around over there.
Need to put Sir Randall and Claude on those boats and watch them just like explode with excitement.
You guys also will have observed another very large ship loaded with something or other coming in and parking over next to the treasure fleet. Spanish from the look of it. Let's see. And around midday, in the Plaza Vieja, as Sir Randall shows up there. How is he showing up there?
Well, she said, "Fight with coach."
She didn't actually say anything about a coach,
Oh,
but
she didn't. Then I will arrive
In a coach.
in a coach. I will
Why not?
also, and I will use a prep point for that.
that's cheating, but good cheating. Okay. So you arrive in a coach at the plaza as you pass by, and you're actually going through the city. It's actually fairly pleasant, almost European feeling. In the plaza, you see a handful of half-naked Indians with long braided hair, apparently selling cardinals in cages. There's a lot of them too, and a lot of people are buying them. It's weird. I don't think Sir Randall probably hasn't seen any natives. Well, actually, he probably has once he got here. he hadn't seen him before. And as expected, you do arrive, and Lady Amira is there and finely dressed and looking forward to meeting you.
Well, I'm sure there is a fun park that the coachman can take us to where we can.
And she says, I have an idea. I seem to recall you said you were a ship captain.
This is true.
I would very much like to see your ship.
Only the most beautiful, well, second most beautiful thing that's going to be the second most beautiful thing that will be at the port today.
Ew. Playing the smoothie, I see. Yeah, she is she's very excitable about the ship once you guys get over there. She loves ships. She's naming off parts of ships. She's getting it all wrong, but she's trying.
Well, you know what? Partly, I might only I think she just said that's wrong, but even I'm not 100% sure
You got
that she's wrong.
seamanship, don't you?
1 point.
Okay, yeah.
Sure.
That's probably me. That's like me as well, where it's like,
Damn it, that reminds me. I meant to ask if you guys were going to have a watch kept on the ship.
Yes.
And that needs to be an SOP thing. Is that going to be SOP standard? You always have a watch on the ship, or you just when you think you need it?
Oh, foreign port.
Always in a foreign port?
Yeah, I would probably say always in a foreign port for sure.
Of course, I think every time you've been attacked, it's been at a friendly port.
Has it? Well, that's not cool.
Well, somebody's on watch.
I imagine theft and stuff is commonplace, so there should probably be someone on watch all the time.
Well, to be fair, in this particular case, there are a lot of soldiers around here. Also, to be fair, they're not obliged to actually do anything for you, so they might not be all that helpful. Apparently, Hoop is on watch right now.
he's longingly looking in the direction of the brothel.
Well, not anymore. There's a hot chick coming aboard.
What? No, Dora's with me.
And, yeah, so Sarandel gives Lady Amira the grand tour of the not-so-grand ship.
It's awfully small.
She is very
It's how you
impressive.
use it.
It's not the size of the ship. It's how you maneuver it in port.
Exactly.
But yes, she is very bubbly. Apparently, she's a bit of a sea groupie, ship groupie,
Ain't nothing
and
wrong with that.
Hoop tries to stay well out of the way.
While admiring her clothes. Yes, that's it.
And while you guys are below decks, she gets a little handsy, maybe, but not too bad. She restrains herself.
I play it cool. Cool.
And as you guys are ending the tour and deciding what to do next, she says, there's a gathering this evening at this other place, and she invites you to join her and mentions that the host there has an extensive library. I know you were talking about you were looking for information.
It would be my pleasure to join you and meet this acquaintance or friend of yours. Shall I have a coachman pick you up, or shall we meet there?
We will meet there, and she will go on her way for the day. Let's see. Oh, that's the wrong spot. Hold on. I'm not lost. Okay. And so that's around midday. Spencer is on his way back into town, and he probably is going to intercept Rogers, who is around the hotel where Spencer was staying, and looking for him apparently. Rogers has found Spencer and Dora on the way back to the hotel. Oh, by the way, that guy did agree to buy.
Good.
He also said if Don Alejandro offers you more than I'm offering you, come back and see me. He doesn't deserve these goods. I deserve these goods.
Now I need to cause a bidding war here. So we leave in one of the treasure ships. Oh, hello, Lieutenant.
Good day, Doctor. I took a bit of a stroll up to the fortress to watch a hanging. Unfortunately, it wasn't the man I was looking for. Yes, unfortunately. Well, you know, I do enjoy seeing a good swing. Anyway, it appears he's gone on and tried to make it look like he was the dead man, but it wasn't.
Oh, how confusing.
Well, so he would like us to believe. Anyway, I went walking around until I realized it was pointless without you and your capacity for speaking Spanish.
Ah, yes. Spanish. That is what we were speaking. Right.
Yes. So as much as I'm a cunning linguist, unfortunately I fail in that department when it comes to the Spanish language.
All right, so question at this point. Do you go back and start digging for Pickford Rodney, or do you talk to anyone else?
Well, good doctor, I hate to impose, but do you feel like going for a stroll and seeing if we can't find out if anyone recognized the dead man walking?
Well, I'm not opposed. What do you think, Dora?
She just raises an eyebrow.
I'll take
I'm
that
not
as a
sure
yes.
Well, I guess we are going a wandering.
Excellent.
Oh, right. I need to go to that place and talk to that dude.
So you make a note to go hit up one of the other merchants on the way.
Yes, that, and I also want to, if possible, angle towards that place where the buyer had mentioned the guy who was going to be in town for a week.
Well, this particular route is going to take you out of town, and that was definitely in town.
Right.
But you're not necessarily in a hurry.
Nope. Well, do some stuff here with the good lieutenant, and then we'll see what happens.
All right, off to so back to Claude for just a bit. As was yesterday, so is today. That as you've been listening around for mention of Philip, you have heard nothing.
Okay, so in the morning, though, Claude is actually going to go back and look for the French ship.
Okay.
Which
and
is
see
ironic.
if it's still there.
Speaking of, have you spoken to anybody about that?
Yeah, she's
Not that you
shy.
had any reason to necessarily.
No, she wouldn't, or he wouldn't have said anything.
All
It was
right.
just a, French captain, and not much of it.
So you go find the ship?
Yep. So Claude's going to go hunt down the ship and see if their captain is about in the morning.
Okay. Let's see. Tell you what, roll a d6 for me. When you go visit the ship, the captain is not aboard.
Darn. Okay. Claude will kind of eyeball the ship for a while to see who actually would seem like crew, and then put together as much courage as possible and approach one that looks the most friendly.
All right. So in social engineering, that would be cutting out. You know what? Roll a seamanship minus your shy level.
I think it's just a -1, so let me
Okay,
just
you're not
take
that
one
bad.
off of this. That would be a nope.
You fail to find the opening you're looking for.
They all look scary in French.
Too bad.
Which is an odd combination, honestly.
Claude's just going to kind of hang out there for the day, or at least for a while, in hopes the captain pops back up. The intention is... Oh, go ahead.
What I'll do, so you failed by 2 there, so what I'll say is you can take time on that, and that'll be 4 times as long. So say it took an hour, then it'll take 4 hours for you to find your opening there. So
Okay.
you'll be there for a while. If you wait that long, you can eventually find somebody. It'll just take half the day.
Yeah, that's fine. Claude's intent, and this was probably, it was Claude realizing later that crap, there's somebody there who speaks my language, so I probably should ask about Philip. And
Okay.
because he was a seaman, and so that's the intent, is that assuming Claude can either talk to one of the sailors or the captain shows back up,
Gotcha.
he will inquire about Philip if they know of a sailor named Philip, and also what port they sailed from as well, like what city they sailed out of.
Okay. So eventually you will get somebody that is that looks non-threatening enough that you can approach, and will tell you that the ship is from Saint-Malo in France, and that they've got a number of Phillips on board. The crew's about 100 or so, something like that, and he'll point out 1 or 2 of them and say, "No, that's not him. That's not him." Uh, you say, "Oh, he's from the Philippines, so he's an Easterner," and it's like, no, no one like that aboard here.
Okay. Claude will look a little crestfallen, but thank him, and I guess taking a note from watching the rest of his crew acting like drop like a couple of coin, maybe a couple of shillings.
That's
For
going to be hard to
thank
give
you.
up. All right, and we will move on to back to Rogers, I guess.
Well, Hayden had something to do in the morning.
Okay, what do you need to do then?
In his gathering of information and stuff like that, he's going to be asking around for a Capitan Dupre, if anyone knows. Okay. And he's also going to approach the crew to ask them if any of them have heard about Capitan Dupre.
Oh, you mean your crew?
Yes, our crew. But he'll, as he's going about getting information, he'll be asking as well.
Okay. Well then, as you are moving to and fro, you will note that that French brig, that pretty French brig that was down the docks from you, happens to also be called Le Chasseur, and you have no idea who the captain is, but it's going to have a captain, and so you will inquire of the nearest. Oh, and Claude's waiting around there.
Clearly planning on. No, wait. Don't know that she has sticky fingers.
Oh,
Actually, yeah, you
Claude.
probably spot the ship, and then you spot Claude watching the ship.
Yeah,
well,
Claude totally has sticky fingers.
That will intrigue the
but
captain.
We don't know that.
So he will approach, and he will say, "Mr. LaCroix, it's unusual to see you here.
What are you doing?"
Claude will do the jump thing. Yeah, exactly. Jump scare. And then, oh, Captain, I'm sorry. I saw the ship yesterday, and they were French, and I spoke with their captain. Captain, he gave me the full name, right?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, so Captain, oh gracious, whatever his name is, Alain Dupre. Yeah, sorry, I have too many windows open.
Need more monitors.
And so I was asking their crew to see if they knew anything of a friend of mine who disappeared a while back, but sadly, no, they don't know anything.
So
And,
you have met with this captain?
Just a little. He snuck up and scared me too. He asked if I was looking for work, but I told him I was already employed on a ship.
We should all sneak up.
I'm sensing a theme.
I see. Do you know if the captain is on board at present? I believe
Uh,
I wish to speak with this captain.
No, sir. He doesn't appear to be on board.
And your business watching this ship?
I was hoping to ask him about my friend that disappeared. I was waiting on him to come back.
You know, now that you say that, I'm wondering, did Claude ever actually tell anybody about Philip?
Probably not, but
Because I don't think he ever had any reason to, necessarily. I guess he might, well, he might have been asking around docks at various places you've stopped, so I guess it might have come up.
Well, Mr. LaCroix, I have business to take care of. If you are intending to stay around and meet with this captain, could you please pass on a message that I would like to meet with him?
yes, Captain.
Perhaps invite him to dinner.
On our ship?
What's our cook like? Is our cook...
You guys have a rotating cook duty.
So who's on the current rotation?
Nobody is, because you're ashore.
No. At, and then Hayden will mention the inn that he's staying at, or hotel, assuming that it has meals. If not, he'll suggest another place.
Wherever it is that he's eating nearby, if not the actual hotel.
Yes, Captain.
So
what
there
time?
it's there at sunset.
Yes, sir.
All right then.
As you were, Mr. LaCroix.
Sir. And Claude will settle back against a stack of boxes and go back to waiting.
Rogers, Spencer, and Dora return to Del Moro and approach the fort.
So they said he headed off that way, but that was some time ago.
Yeah, it would have been a few hours by this point.
Right. Do we know what the guy looked like?
I don't know that I've ever met Pickford.
You know, I meant to actually bring that up at some point. You actually never met Pickford. The painting came from somebody who got it from him. Wanted in a gambling thing.
So I don't know who I'm looking for. Beyond a name. I've never seen the person, except that I understood they were in this prison and they've managed to escape.
Huh.
All right, so how to proceed? You just go up to the fort and start asking?
I think so. These are the last people that actually saw him. So please, Doctor, would you speak to them? I did grease their bombs, so hopefully they'll be forthcoming.
Right. Si vous plaît is French, but right. Need to do it in Spanish.
Sargento, el inglés es aquí.
Yes. I will address them and crap. I don't know what kind of skills I should use for that.
Well, you don't have to use a skill. You can just ask.
Well, I'm just gonna ask.
All right then. The sergeant returns. He recognizes Rogers, greets you confusedly, if not warmly, and
Then possibly relieved when he realizes I can actually speak his language.
yes, much better. And
CT.
he will let you know via translator that Miguel Enriquez, the warden, was seen leaving the fort in a generally southerly direction, which is as indicated before. He will also say that he left with a handful of other soldiers, other guards, and that he was the one that made the prisoner exchange before the execution and did not properly log the swap.
Did he also take the prisoner?
He will ask around again and say, well, there was someone else with them.
Right. So it's...
He was wearing a robe or something.
I'm wondering if I'm going to end up at that buyer's house again.
Wouldn't that be funny?
I'm going to have to help him chase off some robed hooligans.
To make the long story less long, I will take whatever influence you would like to use, and from either one of you, however you decide to handle that. And now that you have proper communication, we will follow the trail of clues.
I have diplomacy at 12. Wow, I'm not that great.
I've got it at 12. I've got fast talk at 13.
I have diplomas at 16.
Yeah, but you're not here. You're like
I'm not with you guys.
hanging out. You're hanging out with the pretty Hispanic lady. Well, I have public speaking debate and public speaking rhetoric at 14.
Unfortunately, that doesn't really help you here unless you're planning to advertise.
I want to debate him. Yeah, so can I make a diplomacy assist to try to get rid of the -1 for the accented and then have Lieutenant Rogers make his. Wait, what did you say your diplomacy was, Nosh?
It's the same as yours. It's 12.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I guess I can still try to do that. So because if one of us makes it, we're gonna have. I mean, just one of us makes
Right.
the roll. We're gonna be at -1. But if one person assists, we can maybe get rid of that -1, which is a roundabout way of doing things.
That is kind of roundabout, but whatever. I'll take it. Whoever wants to take the lead, the other one goes first.
I'll go
Oddly enough.
first. I'll go first since I'm not even speaking Spanish.
You're just sitting there smiling good-naturedly like a proper Lieutenant Rogers. Alas, that's gonna suck. Does that mean I'm at -2 instead of -1?
That would be true unless he spends a penny.
Oh, why not? I'll spend a penny.
Because that's what they're for.
Huzzah! Now let's see if I can foobar this roll. I did,
You can.
and I cannot adjust that because I've only got one Benny. Yeah.
True. But then you have other ways.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if coincidence would work in that case.
Well, it depends.
How could I? So this what is this
well,
particular
if I-
roll for?
If I may interject, could I unuse that penny and use my luck instead?
Well, you would need to. You'd need to get a crit to actually bump that up. But you could. I mean, if you just wanted to save the penny, that is.
Yeah, what the hell? Let's do that.
Save the penny.
Two
Right,
more
and-
rolls
And
coming up.
also, what is the reason for the influence roll again? In this case,
This is your. This is the witness montage.
okay. So we're basically asking people,
Uh-huh.
"Hey, have you seen that?" Okay. So
And if you fail, it'll just take longer.
So yeah. Okay, I'll let him make his 2 rolls. And if that doesn't cooperate, then I can probably pull it out with a coincidence. Ooh,
Yeah.
there's
Not that
your
one.
roll. There's the one that we were expecting to see. So a little bit into this whole little montage, he's clearly starting to get a little irritated and such like that, and mutters under his breath, and let me check my languages. Accidentally in Russian. Yeah, he speaks Russian.
Hold that thought just for a second.
Copy.
So, you guys were told at the fort that the warden took somebody out of here. They were seen afterward by people on the road leading a cart with a robed other guy in the cart. And there is at least a couple of random people who saw them ditch this cart and keep going on foot. And then Let's see. You got a farmer / worker who saw a number of soldiers and some kind of bum prisoner or something or other like that going that way.
Uh-huh.
And as things are dragging on, you're not getting specific enough results. You suddenly say a thing.
Yeah, and this is a vague. Let's see, how do I want to phrase this? Because I was also thinking of dragging Sir Randall into this, like, by with him, him and his new lady friend heading in the same sort of direction as we do that. But
Yeah, that's being too specific.
yeah, I'm trying to figure out how would I phrase this.
What would you like to happen? That is on a wider scale. What do you want to happen?
I'm gonna see the guys if at all possible.
So you want to happen upon the spot.
Or like end up at a really elevated point and just happen to glance down and see them heading in direction X and go, ha, look at that.
Okay. Say your thing.
It'd certainly be nice if we could find these or set eyes on these fellows. Man. Benny, I have a Benny.
Now you
I'm
use the
spinning a Benny.
Benny it is.
Let me remove my sadly. Where's my Benny?
Actually, just saying that, I meant to give those of you that actually gave me SOP stuff, each of you get a Benny.
Oh, hey, now I have a Benny again.
Before the game, that is. So you got one left. And indeed, as you say whatever it is that you said in Russian, some guy...
Actually, no, it should have been Gaelic, because of the little book. Yeah.
Gaelic then. And you happen to see some soldier step out of the bushes, clearly having relieved himself, and kind of gives everybody a nod and walks back in that direction through the trees.
Well, that seems rather odd, doesn't it, Lieutenant?
That does.
We are totally gonna bite off more than we can chew with this, aren't we?
Absolutely. How do you follow?
We follow boldly because I'm overconfident.
All right then. You will follow in the general direction of where that soldier was headed.
But
and,
I do have shadowing, so I'm not stupid.
Well, you are perfectly capable of sneaking if you like.
Of course, the
This
way I'm
seems
rolling.
like a potentially good. Oh my god! I just saw my stealth check.
Yeah, the way I'm rolling, but I will give shadowing I'll give it a try.
Is
Give
shadowing
it an
the right?
honest shot.
Is that the right one in this case?
Do what?
I guess it would be, wouldn't it? Shadowing, not stealth.
No, this is definitely going to be stealth. Shadowing is for hiding in a crowd and that sort of. Well, I guess it is for following people, but.
Well, are we in a crowd?
It's stealth
No, I think
in
we're
the
outside.
woods. It's shadowing in the city. I'm pretty sure they actually say that in Dungeon Fantasy somewhere.
Well, doesn't matter because shadowing, stealth, same level.
I'm looking forward to seeing yours before I
I
throw
bet
my
you're the
crappy
only one
roll.
shadowing though.
Do you want it in the box or open?
Open's fine. You'll know if you fail.
Oh, I know I'm gonna fail. Wow, yours is. Yep.
Well, you didn't fail that bad. They might not be paying that close attention.
Crunch.
Yeah, they're not paying that close attention. So yeah, you guys go off the trail a bit in that general direction, and you pick up and see that there's looks to be a bit of an old dilapidated church of some kind, and possibly a cemetery, at which there are about 4 soldiers. Did I say 4?
You said a handful.
Where did I say that? I am not lost. I know exactly where I am.
I'm totally lost.
I did not actually write those numbers down. That's
4's fine.
brilliant. It's all right. I have a backup plan. Hang on.
4's fine.
Right,
I'm
4.
sure.
Okay.
I'm sure Lieutenant Rogers can take that many.
4 soldiers and 1 officer. You guys are familiar enough with these uniforms. You can pretty much tell an officer from the others. Not exactly the most pristine of soldiers, but there they are. They are armed with muskets and that sort of thing. Looks like the bayonets are fixed. And there is another kind of skinny white guy who appears to be digging. Looks like so.
Oh no, his name has or there's a label of his name hovering above him.
And he is chattering away while he digs, like this isn't a problem or anything. He's just digging, and but he's the only one digging, and the other ones standing around him are just watching, sort of sternly.
Interesting.
They don't appear to have noticed your approach.
Interesting.
Well, I'm not sneaking forward.
So, how far away are they?
Well, let's see. How well did you do? One of you didn't sneak very well.
No, I did not. In which case, the lieutenant may have pointed to me with a stop motion, and I stayed where I was.
I'd say you guys are probably in some trees about 10 yards away from the grave digging.
I think I'm going to wait out and see what transpires. However, if it looks like they're going to dispatch this fellow, then I will intervene.
All right. Well, you see that he is maybe knee deep at this point. So probably about, a few hours worth of digging.
Man, they're brutal.
He's going to be there a while if he's digging a grave deep enough for himself.
I'm going to still watch.
All right. Let me see where we are for a moment.
Not there. We're over there.
No,
Not
you're
there.
not. You are a dirty liar. Let's you can see after, I don't know, another 15, 20, 30 minutes, starting to get sleepy over there, just not doing anything, watching these guys, watching that guy. You can tell they're getting agitated too.
Are they talking amongst themselves?
They are. They're chattering around in Spanish, making fun of him, basically, and telling him to dig. And at least in Spencer's case, you hear the word treasure being thrown around quite a bit.
And on the other side of the town, while he's sitting in a coach, Sir Randall just sort of randomly perks up, like, "Did I hear the word treasure?"
My treasure sense is tingling.
Yep,
Treasure sense is tingling.
I sense something I've not seen in a while because I'm a slacker. Right. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna try to eavesdrop on them and see if I can't, pick any interesting information up.
Well,
Definitely relate. Yeah, they're digging for treasure apparently.
the piece of information you can definitely pick up is that if they don't find a treasure here, that Pickford Rodney will not be leaving it. The hole, that is.
I apparently will need to relate that to the lieutenant, and he's going to get us into a shootout, and I am woefully inadequate for this.
A little bit of background, please. I get this painting, and the guy that Pickford sold the painting for said it's worth a mountain of gold.
That's what he was told.
And that's all I know. I mean, is this the only interest I have in this guy? Is because I have a painting that apparently he had.
I made a quest for you, and I am, yes, okay.
You have a quest.
You have a quest, and as I'm reading through it, this does not have the information you need right there. What you need, and I should have put that in there. What you need him for is there is a name on the painting. It is A. Cristobal, and you do not know who that is or where that is.
Okay.
Your assumption at this point is that Pickford Rodney, being the one who sold the painting, knows the answers to this question, or at least can get you a step closer to it.
Okay. So I look at the good doctor and I say, "Do you know how to act?"
I played Hamlet once.
That's good enough for me.
Wait, no, dummy look. He does not have acting. Never mind. Apparently, no, that'd be performance, actually.
Well,
Yeah,
acting is what you would need in this case, I would
he
think.
does not have acting, but he does have performance.
Performance what?
I don't know.
What kind of? You don't actually have a specialization in that?
Well, I think performance is simply the ability to entertain, whereas acting is the ability to fake actual emotions, yada yada yada.
No, I think performance is a specialized skill. I think you have to specify
No,
something.
doesn't
I
it?
thought anyway. Not what you
No,
need.
this is performance. This is the ability to act on the stage or screen. It is different from acting in that you're trying to impress and entertain people, not deceive them. So
Wait, no. Yeah, I'm getting confused. Ignore
stop
that.
getting confused.
You're right.
Yeah. So I wonder if we could just simply stumble upon these people and act like we're just wandering around lost.
Now there are what, 4 of them?
4 soldiers, 1 officer, so 5.
Ugh, those are not good odds.
Well, we can continue to wait out and see what happens.
You both hear the rustling of grass.
Damn it.
Very close to you.
Uh-oh.
And then you realize that Dora is actually walking over there.
What?
Crap.
No.
I say no. Let's wait out and see what happens here.
I'm probably not even thinking, entire. It's like, crap, I gotta grab her and jump up to go grab her, and then realize
She
this
is
a terrible mistake.
yeah, so she's not, walking fast, just kind of walking up like nothing's going wrong, and she just kind of waves and smiles at him, and of course every one of them turns to look at her.
Yeah, and I guess Spencer is like, you're gonna grab that, or stumble into sight to grab. Oh, it's like, oh, terribly sorry.
Hey, Guinness, ¿qué pasa aquí?
It takes a couple seconds to shift mental gears. It's like, right, that's Spanish. And now they're speaking English
Right.
to me.
The
I'm sorry.
the TV switches the subtitles on,
Okay.
and yeah, they're challenging you. Who are you? Why are you here? Blah blah blah. And they level weapons and all that.
Whoa! No need for that, sir. We were just out for a walk.
And with all the guns pointing in your general direction, the white guy in the grave takes off running. Thank you very much.
Senior man is
And-
running.
And I am instantly pursuing.
Indeed.
I'm
Yeah, that really
expecting
would have made sense to put
gunshots.
that over there. Silly me.
He did it wrong, Mark.
I feel like I did it wrong.
Did it wrong.
Doop 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 doop.
Oh man, this is going to be interesting because I'm probably not even going to think to start chasing after him.
Well, you will a second later, at least. Let's see. We need.
So I'm taking static this turn.
That should have been better prepared for that. Let's see. We need you.
That right there was exactly the kind of distraction we needed.
Mm-hmm. Doop doop. And we need you guys.
Wow, somebody's using attack.
Yeah, not yet. PCs. We have
Just drag him off the combat tracker, right?
Well, I need multiple of them in this case. Guess I might as well include her here. And all right, that is everybody. Very well. Okay, so you guys are gonna start at short from the soldiers and probably medium from Rodney. So let's see, how do we want to do this?
I don't know. How are we going to do this?
I think the simplest way to do it would be Rodney is at the end. So you guys will move accordingly, which means soldiers are there, and yeah, that's about right for that. Yep, that'll work. All right, so you guys can take your maneuver. This will be standard rounds, a handful of seconds, whatever is appropriate. I am not going to assess any bad at this point.
There's no other.
And
Hey, Brian, it just occurs to me we may need another option on there for just static.
Wouldn't that be stop?
stop and
not-
go would be good enough.
But it's not necessarily. Maybe we should change that from stop to stop/static.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
I didn't think static was an actual maneuver, though.
It's not. It's a type of maneuver, I think. It's a tag on the maneuver. Although
Okay, no,
yeah.
stopping for any reason is a static maneuver. Tack and disembark/embark are always static. Any maneuver is static if your rival succeeds at mobility escape or stun escape. Yeah, I guess stop is probably the most appropriate in this case. Yeah.
Actually, no, they were too close. We'll spread it out like that. All right. So I think everybody's just going to be down to like a +1 for speed, and that's pretty much it. So given
Speed is +2 for move 5 man,
up
plus
to
3
then.
for 6 to 7 person.
Yeah, I think everybody here is going to be 2, unless Rogers is particularly quick.
Now it looks like he's at 575.
575 for basic speed.
So your basic speed
All
is
right.
straight at 5. Yep. Now, if the other people were there, we're the slow ones.
So Mr. Rodney takes off into the brush and down this side path, and he is taking a move as expected, and everyone else is basically taking a move right behind him. So I guess Dora and
Well, I
Spencer
moved
are
Dora
doing a
over
stop.
there. She might go move, but Spencer is definitely taking the stop, /static, because remember he has the quirk level
Right.
combat hesitancy, so he hesitates.
Well, she probably, you don't get the impression she was expecting him to bolt like that, so she was kind of surprised by it as well. So he takes off, and everybody takes off after him. At this point, you guys have your maneuvers chosen, and you know what the modifiers are. The skill you'll use here is either running or dex or something else, if you can think of how it might apply.
Falling. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Don't have running, but then not much running called for on a tiny little ship like ours.
Not generally, no.
So I guess we just need to. Okay, so I get just a dexterity test, and Rogers gets either a dex or running +2.
Right.
Oh yeah, and I'm static, so that just means no. Is that all it is?
He gets
No,
a
no.
free range shift.
Yep, everybody gets
Or
a free
they
range
all
shift
do.
from me. Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys will fall back one at least. But you are succeeding, so that is
Are you going to use chase circumstances?
no, I am not. I may modify things as pictured.
Yay! So I got a success by 1.
Let's see. So that is going to be. That is going to be. Okay, so they are all going to stay roughly the same. Whereas, what did Rogers do? Success by 1, so he will remain the same. And Dora and Spencer will fall back 1.
with a, oh, we're supposed to follow them.
Right. Nope, not Rogers. Rogers is keeping up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I see. I was going the other way, backwards. Gotcha.
Right.
My mistake, your fault.
There you go. Corrected. All right, next round. So you guys
Yeah.
are still heading down that road, and the soldiers are still running full tilt. They are still armed, but they're not raising those rifles at this point.
Right. Okay. So I guess we should follow, huh?
Yeah, I'm going to keep pursuing.
I tell
All
you,
right,
I'm not
maneuvers
stretch out
remain the
for-
same. Let's see.
Hey, I
need to
get
do
a
something
+2
different
for
here.
speed now.
Let's see. Give me that.
Wait, why am I chasing people that are armed? This seems like a really
Well,
dumb choice.
all right, so carry on. That'll be him. That'll be him. And that'll be them. Wow.
Jeez. Even with a +2, that's crap.
All right. Let's see. So, Rogers and Spencer have not improved, and the officer has not improved, but the soldiers have, or at least one of them. We'll say one of them has improved. So,
I should have grabbed the shovel.
maybe. Oh, that reminds me. How many times can you use that thing?
Coincidence?
Yeah, it was 2 times a day, wasn't it?
Technically it's just once a day unless I make
Right.
a will-based test of it and burn 2 fatigue points, in which case I can use it again.
All right, you guys turn out of the forested area and onto a work road, I guess you would call that, nearby some farms and whatnot. It's mostly open here, and Rodney keeps running. In this particular case, though, the one soldier that has caught up to him is going to make a grab. I believe the grab will need to be resolved first.
Yeah, that's going to be is it so he's just attacking, he's not doing a moving attack?
Right. Yeah, he's trying to tackle him, basically.
Gotcha. Nope, can't do
And he
that.
fails miserably, so he makes a half-ass attempt to grab at him and doesn't quite catch anything useful.
Yep,
Otherwise,
and that means
and
he
so
is
that
going to
means
be
he's out.
static. No, it's just
Oh wait,
static.
yeah, static, yeah. So he's at least going to fall back. And everybody else is going to remain essentially the same at this point. So anybody doing anything different?
Just chasing, I guess.
How close am I to Pickford?
You are at medium range, so you are basically a rifle shot.
Okay.
A bit of a distance.
Medium is 21 to 100 yards. So he could shoot him with his pistol.
You
He
could.
could also
I mean, it'd
shout.
be a long shot, though. All right. Spencer rolled.
Not well.
There's
Well, I'm
that.
falling behind Lieutenant Rogers, that's for sure.
There's that. And there's that. So that is no change, no change, no change. So the one guy will fall back because he was static, and he actually gets, yeah, that's not going to change. And everybody else is going to stay roughly the same. Rogers is going to move up.
Yeah, I was about to say.
So Rogers will get in close, or to short, which means he is now in pistol range effectively from
6 to 20
Rodney,
yards,
but
can talk to enemy or toss things at him.
you are also, however, close to the soldiers.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I'm falling behind.
What I will say, if I can say it, is I will shout out to Pickford, keep running.
Right. I don't think you need to press that issue. All right, next round. Anybody doing anything different at this point?
No. I'm trying to fail again.
Still essentially open terrain.
Ooh, didn't fail.
Indeed. Let's see how everybody
That's
else does.
disappointing.
And that. Wow, gonna be like that today. And that. So that means no change, no change, no change, no change. Failed to close once again.
Whew. All this
For the
running.
record, Rogers has not been really acknowledged by the soldiers, who are basically just hauling ass as hard as they can and cursing the fact that they're having to do all this. Next round, you guys are passing by the actual farm itself. There's a plantation up on the hill, blah, blah, blah. Anybody doing anything different this round?
I am looking to see if I dare do something different. No, my physical skills are inadequate, so I have to just continue to run. Man,
Running
can
Joyride.
this be the plantation that Sir Randall and company are gathering to meet at today?
Could be.
Because that'd be hysterical.
That would be hysterical. Take that as a no. Nobody's doing anything different. Okay.
There's the roll I was expecting. Totally have Mel's dice.
Well, let's see here. So that's gonna be. Yeah. Spencer's
Right.
falling back.
Yeah, well, he's not a runner. And, the books he's probably carrying probably don't help.
Probably not. Let's see. That's no change. No change. Almost, but no change. That one is no change. Yeah. And everybody's getting really tired at this point, so you're probably losing those speed points.
Technically, Roger should move one ahead of me, shouldn't he?
No, actually. You're-
He beat me by 8.
Yeah, but he did not improve his own distance, and
Gotcha. That's weird.
you actually did fall back though.
Sweet. So I'm at extreme range now. I don't know if Dora is.
Yeah, she's kind of keeping up with you. She's not that fast.
And it's hard to run in a dress. Just ask Sir Randall.
Dora points at a horse.
That's a good idea, but we don't want to be flogged for horse theft.
All right, next one. Anybody doing anything different?
Nope.
Let's see. Extreme. So right now, wow, I am 501 or greater yards away.
Yeah, you're pretty much out of it.
Rival difficult or impossible to see or shoot. Let's see if I can borrow Mill's dice one more time. Man, I rolled positive. What's up with that?
All right. Let's see. Rogers is going to be no change. This one is going to fall back. And that one is going to fall back. Rogers has now taken the lead.
Well,
And
technically, that's not true. He's
I'm,
still got the guy he's chasing is still in the lead.
so I'll call out, keep running, but I really would like to know what the name Christabel means on your old painting. Would you happen to have a moment?
I don't think you're going to quite be able to get that out while you're running full tilt.
I'll try to huff and puff it out over the next few rounds.
Yeah, I think at this point, Spencer and Dora are just like jogging more than anything.
All right. So you guys are crossing through a slightly more populated area. There are some houses and such along the road. And you can see that Pickford has started to weave in and out.
Well, I'm going to keep chasing him.
I shouldn't have had it to +2 because damn. There you go. Success by 7.
Damn.
You put on a burst of speed.
All right. Well, let's see where this goes.
Did Did you say beady 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 beady? You know, right before you did that,
Bidit, 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 bidit.
Mm-hmm.
suck down some spinach.
Okay. That did not go like I expected. All right. Let's see. Rogers is going to get 2, so he can move into close. The soldiers are going to get 2, so they can go into close.
Whoa!
And the officer is going to get 1, so he can move into short. All right, yeah. So, as stated, Rodney started weaving back and forth, and his tactic did not work out very well.
Yeah,
At
'cause
least-
multiple people converged on him.
At least 1 or 2 of these soldiers are pulling pistols because they've had quite enough of this crap. All right, 1 more.
Yeah, I think I'm basically out of the chase, but see what I can do. There it is.
Good God, yeah, you're gone. You don't even know where the hell they went.
Critical failure, 18.
All right, well, for starters, we've got gunshots.
Does that not incur a wipeout?
Not well. I mean, I guess it could, but it's really not that important, I suppose.
You ran onto a spear.
I think I probably just went the entire wrong direction. Everybody took a hard right at one of the the roads, and by the time me and Dora got there, we're like, we have no idea what you guys went. We're gonna go this way, and we went left.
All right. Yeah. So Rodney stumbled before, and he rolled to get up. The soldiers all had pistols, pulled him out, and fired at him at relatively close range. Smoke and fire and all that. Didn't look like he was shot though, because he scrambles to his feet and disappears around one of those buildings.
Disappears in the smoke.
In the meantime, with the running, because they stopped, and that is that.
So, you have to at least short.
All right. So, yeah, gunfire. Pickford scrambles back to his feet. You guys are trying to catch up. Seeing as Rogers didn't stop to shoot or attack or anything, he keeps running. He's able to keep up with Rodney and see him go around that building and spring up, not very gracefully, on the back of a horse that was behind the building there, and take off in the other direction, not entirely under his own control. And that, in chase terms, is a mobility escape.
Okay.
Unless you're going to chase down the horse.
Likely not.
You watch the horse gallop off, Pickford eventually straightening himself and waving thank you back to whoever it is that just saved his life. Never to be seen again.
Potentially.
Oh well, at least
Probably not.
at least I have a face now.
I meant to actually show you guys that. This is actually Havana. Out there you are, out in the hinterlands, as it were.
Well,
Okay. Well, Rodney got away, so success?
Sure.
Sort of.
now you need to avoid the soldiers.
Actually, so to establish this at this point, yes, you have soldiers here, and you have no Mr. Rodney. So how are you going to extricate yourself from this particular situation?
I'm gonna brush my clothes off, straighten my cravat, tip my hat to both of them, turn around, and walk back towards Spencer.
Oh, I'm really far away.
I know. I'm gonna just keep walking back towards you.
I guess technically you guys haven't done anything illegal here. You just showed up.
And worst
If they
comes to
were of a
worst,
mind.
can make the argument that you were trying to lend a hand.
Indeed. Tough luck, fellas. Let's see. Did they try to stop you?
They might be too gassed to give a damn.
They are clearly not going to try real hard.
Wait, stop! Don't go. We gotta. Oh,
All right. Somebody give me a reaction roll.
Well, I will.
This is your plot thread. You should do it. Yeah, they don't care. They're most of them are just going to bloody collapse right there.
The officer doesn't fall, but he's like bent over double, breathing like a bellows.
And also, Rogers has no idea where the hell Spencer is now.
Well, right now, Spencer has no idea where the hell Spencer is.
Also that.
Because, when with that crit fail, I think he went the wrong way. Everybody went right, he went left.
Eventually, you will find your way back to town, assuming that is where you are headed.
Oh, indubitably.
Okay, let me see. Hold on. Damn it. I don't have that either. So I guess it's probably going to be the same. Not letting me do what I wanted it to do.
I hate when it does that.
Okay, so this is the wrong skill. It's saying sea, but it's going to be land. But I don't have points in it at all on either one of them. So whatever. And yeah, we're completely lost out here.
Dora keeps giving you weird looks like, the hell are you doing?
And yeah,
Pointing
I'm
that
totally,
way.
I'm like, are you sure? Why don't we go? This looks easier though.
She gives you
Oh
that
my God.
hand smack on the forehead and like, duh. That
Oh my
way.
God. She's R2 and I'm 3PO.
You know, that is almost kind of true. She's not very squat though. All right, evening. And Sir Randall has been waiting all day for this moment. Let's see. She told you to meet her, did she not? I believe that was the case.
Yes.
So, you will arrive at another plantation. Ignore the fact that it looks the same as the other one. That is not
It
true.
says generic. They all look the same here.
That's not what I wanted.
Can you flip it?
No, well, maybe. I don't know quite how to do that, so I'm going to resort to something else.
Why is it all white? Oh my God, it's snow. Did I do that? I'm sorry.
No, it's evening. Yeah, so you
It's
go
all
to the
white
house.
for us.
Do what?
It's all white for us.
Damn it. Because I didn't finish that. I needed to click one more time. Evening, and Sir Randall will arrive at the address indicated. How was he arriving here? Did he coach again?
Yep.
He will arrive in his coach and exit and see that Lady Amira is waiting and is happy to see you.
Of course she is.
She introduces you to the host, Inigo Carnicero, who is some plantation guy here. And you guys are shown around. It's another small gathering. You are welcome to start inserting yourself into the situation,
So to speak.
if you like, or you can talk
should
to the
do that
host about the
later.
library.
I think he might get kicked out if he just inserts himself into the situation now.
Depends on how he does it, I guess.
They think he's French. Make sure you've perfected your wah ha ha.
So, I will. Is this it's a party, right?
Yes.
Or is it, okay. Right.
Yes. Similar situation as before.
Damned idle rich.
You know it.
Not the same people, though. Understood.
Right.
Well, you're still wandering to get back. Or maybe trying to find Dr. Spencer, who's totally lost.
Well, I will participate in the party, but I will get. I will.
Forget what you were going to do?
No. Well, what I mean, so my goals here are to
Get into her
ingratiate myself.
dress.
Well, ingratiate myself with the host so I can see his library, but also, make or give her the spotlight,
Right.
and of course ingratiate myself to her.
Okay, so I don't have a problem with making 2 rolls for the same activity in this case. If you wanted to go, say, savoir-faire for the host, and God, what would that be?
Diplomacy?
If you were trying to make yourself look good, what would it be? Would that just be
Carousing?
savoir-faire again?
Carousing, maybe? I mean, it could be carousing.
I could do carousing. I
It
could live with
depends.
that.
I mean, if I know him to have like an affinity
Well, I'm not talking
for
about him.
certain
I'm talking
thing.
about her.
Oh, to her? Oh,
Sex
that's
appeal.
yeah, or no, actually, according to because you got me looking into it, the social engineering, it is fast talk.
Well, okay, you could do that, yeah.
Why wouldn't you use sex appeal?
Because that is more
Well,
the,
he's
well,
not trying to get in her pants necessarily. In this case,
Yes,
he's
he
trying to
is.
convince everybody else how great she is, and yeah, I could see that.
Uh,
So
I
yeah,
grok now.
I'll take that. So 1 each, and if you want to make your carousing roll and get your +2 for both of those, I will count that.
okay. And where's my Benny counter? How much counter?
It's on your sheet.
Sheet.
Resources, front page, main.
Should be there anyway.
Then resources.
Gotcha. Follow 5. Okay. Just
God,
want
you
to
got
make sure.
5?
Yeah, he hasn't been spending them.
Man, I need to step up my game. Apparently.
So here's the carousing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is to talk her up, please. Oh,
Wow.
yes.
Well done.
Jesus.
Yep. And then
Make her
Well, if you're going to
blush.
have a margin crit by 10 at some time, that's the time, I guess.
He keeps moving the chandelier so it puts her in the light.
always in the light. What you don't know is I slipped a guy with one of those like things right here to walk sort of right behind her or about beside her, secretly in the background. So,
all right, one more.
And then this one is going to be is this the diplomacy to, or which is this one for making myself ingratiating myself with the host.
Well, I think savoir-faire would probably work there.
Gotcha. Oh,
alrighty.
That's
and
actually
you did
it.
not put
Now-
the +2s
that- now,
on those either.
User
with that
disconnected from your
carousing,
channel.
with that +1.
No,
it
that's
doesn't-
2.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so it'd be success by 10 because he's still at -1 for the.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
language.
right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Still. Yep.
But still success by 10.
Okay.
So
Well-
you are making. Everybody knows who you are tonight.
Let's see how everybody else is doing. This is a tough crowd, but not that tough. So, yeah, you would be the star of the show, but she's the star of the show. And everybody thinks you guys are awesome and you are the cutest couple ever. And by the time you get around to asking the host about the library, he's like, "Oh yeah, it's right over there. Knock yourself out."
It's totally going to be a crap library.
Actually, he will escort you in there and point out some stuff. Here's this stuff in it. What are you looking for?
Oh, any particularly anything in regards to that focuses on Mayan or Yucatan exploration logs, history, etc., or anything regarding potentially the skull. But I'm going to keep it focused on.
Yeah, that one's tougher to work in the conversation. Where do you even start with that?
Yep. So
You got any books on magic skulls?
Yeah, right.
Well, you start talking about Yucatan and stuff like that. He says, I happen to know a guy that's in town right now. He's an explorer, and he's been in the Yucatan, and I could arrange a meeting for you in the morning. Although I understand he is taking a coach back to Santiago and won't be available after this morning, so you'd have to see him just then. But I'm sure he can get you properly oriented in that area.
Well, I'm most grateful for knowing.
And as you're processing that and all that, Amira will suddenly recall that, oh no, she has agreed to attend a hunt hosted by Don Don Juliano in the morning, and
Wait.
this is
What?
kind of on behalf of her father, so she really has to show up for this thing, and she also remembers that Don Marco, that drunk guy from last night, he's probably going to be there.
Oh, decisions.
Dun, dun, dun. Here it is. You know
Which head does he think with?
what? Let's see. Since it's been going so extremely well, he's just impulsively going to say, "Well, I can't, allow you, if you would have me, yeah."
Uh-huh.
But then,
She-
I would, I'll gratefully ensure, the distance is kept between you and the rum-soaked
Miscreant.
miscreant.
All right. Well, she is extremely happy and sad at the same time, because she realizes that she's keeping you from whatever it is that you're doing, which you haven't really discussed yet. And the host said, that's so sad. Well, I'll pass on that you'd like to talk to him sometime. Perhaps you can correspond."
I will definitely write the letter.
And with that, we return to the road wherein Spencer and Dora are making their way back to town, having gone horribly wrong somewhere along the way.
I said I was sorry.
And as you guys are nearing the general area, you hear the sounds of horses and a coach,
We'll
and
get
the
out of the
coach
way.
pulls up and stops nearby, and the door opens. And the guy inside the coach says, "Why, hello there, Mr. Spencer. I didn't expect to see you here."
Nor did I expect to see you here.
Cut to black. Cue the music. Roll credits.
I don't want to get into the fairy dude's coach. For what it's worth, this dude played an awesome Brainiac in Krypton.
Mm-hmm. He could be a bad guy, but then again, he could not be.
His flag's
What?
black. He's a bad
It's
guy.
got a
No,
question mark.
that's a question mark flag. His nation of origin has not been identified.
And he's dressed in black. He's a bad guy.
Because I can't identify his accent.
All right. One character point for everybody that was present, including Rogers, who is no longer with us.
Huzzah!
No longer on the stream. You know what I mean. And let's see. So I gave an extra Benny to Ronki, to Mel, and to Rigel Kent,
Who promptly used it.
who promptly used his.
Did you already
else?
give us those bennies before the game?
I did not. So if you didn't, you'll need to add those. After that, any new bennies for anybody else that you can think of at this point? I think actually both Nosh and Com Junkie played their threads pretty well, I thought. So maybe both of them.
Yeah, I can get behind that. They're like, this is gonna hurt.
Seconded, thirded. All right. Everybody gets one.
Woo!
Let's see. We don't have any stability stuff to do this time. Nothing crazy happened there. Clearly, some calisthenics were done on the part of the crew here,
Yep.
and that's pretty much all the bookkeeping I have. Anybody got anything?
Not at the moment.
Well, then, if you are watching this and you have questions, corrections, suggestions, or general hecklings, feel free to leave a comment here or find us on Discord. Like and subscribe and all that. Thank you for watching. Olympus out.
Night.